Alright, boys, we're about to start. I've done some funky stuff, so. Wrong one. Alright, here we are. How's it going, everyone? I've done some funky stuff, lots of changes that I've been working on over the last couple days, well, a few days. So, hope you enjoy the new kind of start screen, end screen. It looks kind of cool. Hey, Devastator, Jamala, Louise, Stephen, Bass, Woodpit, Steve, Diablo. How's it going, everyone? Yeah, sorry, my upload crashed so hard today. Unbelievably, it pissed me off. Crashed really, really badly. But we have fixed it. Audio sounding good? It is the wonders of having crap internet in a property that doesn't do internet. Despite the area being really nice, I can't wait to move. Hey, Snowy, I'm doing good. What's that about, Jamala? As I see it, this can only mean for more potential Game Pass subscribers in Xbox's pocket month after month. Those servers might cry a bit, but it's all good in the end. Well, I think they should upgrade the servers so they can deliver the PC versions as well if people want to go down that route. Bet Chaos Xbox is everywhere now and delivering more AAA games. Opponents going to switch to Nintendo and Cat for games like Luigi's Mansion 2. Will they get a Series S, a Series X on Black Friday? Who knows? With the way Microsoft is marketing their stuff, you don't need a console, right? You don't need a console. I mean, this is their marketing right now. This is probably the number one thing they keep saying and they won't stop. No console? No problem. You don't need to buy an Xbox Series X or a Series S. Just go on your TV. Hey, Zrogdal, how's it going? Brandon, mine is my ISP 100%. My upload once again dropped down to 2 meg. And then after a couple restarts of the router, a couple smashes against the wall, a few kicks into the middle of the router, it decided to fix itself. Perfect audio? Good, 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 good. No crackling, because I heard there was crackling last time, and I'm not getting feedback when I'm speaking, so I do apologize for that. I know. I put a tweet out asking if anyone's actually got good sales going on. I know, Sanchez. I know. It's it's the end of times. What will we ever do? What will we ever do, chat? I will still waiting to see the green on the PlayStation stuff. You'll never get that. So you've got a whole camp that's pushing towards this is a really good move by Microsoft. Then you've got the other camp that's saying this is a really bad move for Microsoft. And then you've got the third camp who questions Phil Spencer regarding this move for releasing it on Amazon. See, releasing it on LG, no one cares about LG, it wouldn't matter. Releasing it on Samsung, once more, doesn't matter. But Amazon raises an eyebrow. Why does Amazon raise an eyebrow? It's already on Samsung, I know, but that didn't raise an eyebrow. Why does releasing it on Amazon raise an eyebrow? Just one, just like this. Right? See the eyebrow? Just like that. Why does it raise an eyebrow? Nah, not that is wrong. Not that. Also, just so you know, I've got new emojis coming, new intro videos and stuff coming for both my Twitch and my YouTube channel. So really cool stuff. Uh, had my logo recommissioned today, so that was good. So I can do it in portrait in a higher res and get better quality. So everything I'm doing a lot of work in the background to just make the presentation better. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Needed to change the background for this one, but we didn't, so I'll do that for the next stream. I missed this one, so that's on me. But yeah, why does this one raise an eyebrow? It doesn't. Probably some sort of deal with Amazon, or you could be in logical camp and realize Microsoft is calling the shots and this will make money. Yeah, I get that. That's the win crowd. Funny you should say that. That's phase two. At the moment, I'm getting ones more. Someone's commissioning my handsome face. The second one is going to be some Gears emojis because I know we need some of those. But actually, we're going to talk about four games in particular today that I want to discuss. Gears is one of them. Perfect Dark is another. Blade is third, and there was one more. I think it's Elder Scrolls 6. But there's a really big telling situation here, and one that I guess maybe I'm just seeing too much, but we'll get to that in a bit. All right, the reason why it raises an eyebrow is this: Phil Spencer came out not too long ago and said Sony isn't their competition. Google, who shit the bed and decided to leave, and then came back, shit the bed some more, decided to go to court with Sony and cry to the FTC and the courts that it was big bad Microsoft's fault that they had to get out of business. All they had to do was wait for another 2 weeks and they would have had all the games. But they decided to shit the bed too early. And of course, Amazon. They said they were their biggest competitors. So releasing something like this on your biggest competitor's platform, I guess it does raise an eyebrow, right? And it's going to be a talking point. It's already started to be a talking point. What do you mean? The stream's gone off? Are you guys getting a smooth video or not? Okay. Someone said it was off. Let me see. The bitrate seems to be really low. Oh, it is dropping a lot of frames. 1 second. Fuck's sake, this stupid fucking shit internet. Hopefully that should fix it. No, this is awful. Yeah, but it's dropping frames a lot. Okay, it seems to have gone to green now. That's it. Okay, it seems to have stabilized now. Nope. Let me know how it's going. If it's even worse, then I'll stop the stream and reboot it. Pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, it says the status is good, so that should be good enough. So it should be fine now. Okay. Right, so that's my problem with this, right? Phil Spencer came out and said that. God, it's hot. Phil Spencer came out and said that Amazon is their main competition, not Sony. So releasing your stuff on Amazon is going to raise eyebrows. And as we can see here, where is it? I mean, you've got Colt Eastwood obviously cheering this on. He's always going to be cheering it on because he wants to. But you've got. Where is it? It's here. You've got stuff like this, right? It's great news for customers. That's all great. And I agree. More people that can play it, the better. The better the outreach, the more revenue Game Pass gets, the more games we get. But again, Phil reverts what he stated in the past. Amazon was seen as a main competitor and is now adding their gaming service to their competitor's platform. It's been said, but the console wars should definitely be over. Obviously, it is because at this point, if you're releasing it on your main competitor's platform, there's really not much else to say. And don't forget, companies like Funcom, who release JRPGs, a lot of them, they're releasing games on Amazon Luna on their cloud service, but they're not releasing it on xCloud or Xbox. So it it's going to open a can of worms. The world is moving into a digital space, just not fast enough. We still need a few more years, and trying to force it isn't going to make it go any faster. Did it end again? Try one last thing and that's it. If it's not working, then it's not working. Gonna try one last thing. Hold on, chat. No, no. Okay. Okay, now it should be fine. No issues whatsoever. At least I'm hoping that's going to be the case. No, no, I'm seeing the errors on frame drops and stuff like that. It's dropping frames. I don't know why. My download is fine. My upload was fine when I tested it before I went live again, but it could be having problems. I fucking hate this internet. Anyway, we'll continue, and if it's having too many problems, then I'll just call it. But yeah, so this is the problem, right? When Phil says one thing and then does another thing, that becomes a problem because no one takes him seriously. And in all honesty, Phil might be on his way out, right? Phil might be on his way out because apparently he's due to make a speech. All right, give me a sec, chat. I'm just going to take the stream down and I'm going to put it back up. It should still be on this same channel, so give me a second. Can anyone hear me? Hello? Okay, great. All right, we're going to try this one more time. If the upload has crashed tremendously, I was getting 20 meg before I went live. Now I'm getting about 6. That's why there's issues. If it continues and you guys are seeing bad connection, then just let me know and we'll call it and we'll continue on Tuesday. But yeah, shit start. But this is the problem. What's going on in chat? But to me, the biggest problem with all of this is this messaging. It needs to go away. That messaging just needs to die. There's no reason for that messaging to exist. You know? That messaging just doesn't need to exist. It's a stupid message. No console. There's so many other ways that you can word this to give a better presentation. You know, even I don't know who this dude is at all. This is one of the worst ways to market your brand while you're still in the hardware business. You can advertise streaming without devaluing the console, and that is all they're doing. They are devaluing the console, right? You can. That's the part I don't get. Why is Microsoft insistent on devaluing the console? Hey, Talos. And even then, like, Microsoft has come out repeatedly and said cloud is no longer a primary focus, especially after the ABK situation. The Series S has done a lot of things, Leafstorm. Yeah, but their messaging is all over the place, right? That's not the messaging that we're getting. I don't know. This one was weird. If they released it on LG, I could totally get it. But if you're telling me that your biggest competitor is Google and Amazon, and then you go and release it on your biggest competitor, I don't know. That one just it doesn't feel right. This to me raises a lot of eyebrows, and you'll see over the next few weeks that this is going to. You're going to see a lot of people finding that clip where he said it. Well, actually, he said it. Didn't he say it in court? I think he might have said it during the FTC trial, but I think he said it outside of court as well. That PlayStation isn't their main competitor. Their big competitors are the likes of Google and Amazon. Obviously, Google decided that it can't do anything for shit, so they left. But Amazon is still there. They could easily turn around and say, we are expanding our cloud service to other platforms. You don't have to say no console, no problem. You can now play cloud gaming on the Amazon Fire Stick. There is so many other ways that you can word this to make it not devalue the console. Yet every single PR that they do is devaluing the console, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Steve, you're not getting the point I'm saying. You're missing the point that I'm making. It's not about having less options or more options or anything like that. My issue is the actual marketing of this. Why do you have to come out and devalue your console every single time you decide to talk about cloud gaming? It's clear Microsoft wants to be everywhere, right? That's no secret. And I don't think anyone is disputing that. My question is, why do they have to devalue the console every single time they want to talk about cloud? I'm someone who actively benefits from this, right? I've got I've got 4 kids here, one abroad. My kids are on my PC, they're on my console. There's times I can't get access to my PC or my console. So I'm playing through xCloud or GeForce Now or some other form to play the games that I want to play, right? So I've got access to my games on multiple different devices. It does benefit me. I'm not talking about the benefits of having the ability to play your games on other platforms. I'm clearly talking about here the messaging. The choice to go with Amazon is a weird one after you turn around and say they're your main competition, and the messaging, because there are so many different ways that I can come up with that would sound a billion times better than the messaging that they're saying here. That's my problem. Okay, social gamer, this is why you should care. Because if an average normie sees, oh, I don't need to buy an Xbox, I'm just going to go and get my cloud. Guess what? Unless Microsoft get Resident Evil 9 on Game Pass and Capcom says, okay, we'll put it on Game Pass for this amount of money, Capcom could turn around tomorrow and say, we're not going to release it on Xbox. You don't get no Resident Evil. If they don't sell consoles, you get no third party games. Unless you're happy to play only Microsoft studio games for the rest of your life, that's okay. But if you actually want those Elden Rings, the Final Fantasies, the Resident Evils, the Monster Hunters, and any other third party game, you should care. Because all they're saying here is third party companies, stop making games on our platforms because we don't want to sell the console anymore. That's the messaging that they're saying. That's why you should care. This is the messaging that's coming out. This is what is being, you know, listened to and received by third-party companies. And then when companies like Capcom decide to skip Xbox, everyone loses their fucking mind because, oh, why did they skip Xbox again? Well, it's because of messaging like this. This is it. This is the reason. That's why you should care. The messaging is very important. If you don't care about getting those third party games and you've got other ways to play it, then happy days. It doesn't bother you. If you're an omni gamer where you can play on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, it doesn't matter to you at all. Because if you can't play it on Xbox, you'll go play it on your PlayStation console or your PC. Either way, you'll have access to it. But if you are someone who can only afford an Xbox, that messaging is screwing you over. And it's diminishing the possibilities and the potential of you getting those games. Who's crying? I'm not crying. Someone asked why should we care, so I gave a reasoning as to why you should care. I mean, Rodney, that is one way to look at it. Yeah, I can, that's fine. Did the stream go down again? Right. It's the internet, guys. Unfortunately, since it's going to go down and up again, there's there's not much I can do. I might have to call it. I mean, it shows online for me. I'm watching it at the moment. I'm not seeing any. It hasn't dropped for me. I'm seeing dropped frames, but it's not dropping for me. But if it crashes again, then try Twitch. I don't think anyone wants to go over to Twitch, buddy. You want me to swap over to Twitch instead? Okay, let me try Twitch then. See if that's any better. Nah, it's not going to work there either. I'm doing a speed test at the moment. My upload is 4 meg. That's the issue. Twitch won't help. I mean, look at it. That's supposed to be 18 meg. That's the issue. It's not YouTube. It's nothing else. That's the issue. That's prehistoric dinosaur days. I am wired. Yeah, that's wired. I mean, the down is fine. The down fluctuates between 54 and 60. The internet in this area is bad, like I said. Um, but free up is horrible. I should be getting 20 up, which is perfectly fine, but it's not giving me that today. I don't know why. That's the issue. It's got nothing to do with Twitch or anything else. Uh, I tried it before while I was offline. It gave me the same speed. Kabini, when I was living in my old place before I was evicted, I had 1,000 down, 1,000 up. I mean, this area just doesn't support fiber internet. And I'm only here temporary anyway, so I didn't want to sign up to any 24-month contract and be stuck with certain companies in this area that support it. Yeah, I'm losing a lot of frames. At the moment, I've lost almost 50% of my frames. But yeah, this is not doable. This defo is not doable. Derek, that's the point that I was. That's the problem that I have. I know, man. I know. But that's the problem I have. Just stop giving reasons to not buy the console. And then you got this dude. You got Colt over here. Xbox is selling half as many PS5s worldwide, 30 versus 60 million so far, and they've told you for 10 years you don't need an Xbox. Wonder what wonder what Amazon Fire TV does for Game Pass growth. It's like that messaging sucks. It really does. But let's continue anyway, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, to me that just sucks, man. I don't want that messaging. And then, and then the part that annoys me the most is when I think Gaz sums this up right. You got Xbox turning around and saying no console required, and then you got the shareholders asking, well, why aren't the consoles selling? Do you see the dilemma there? They turn around and complain that the consoles aren't selling, and they're asking Phil why the consoles aren't selling, and then they're doing, hey, but you can play everywhere else. Happy days, let's go. Hey, Jordan, how's it going? Bags, I think you're the one that's not understanding. And I know you're doing it on purpose, but try to at least show that you can understand. No, no, Paul, in the earnings call that Microsoft had this year, the shareholders asked, why aren't we selling enough consoles? Right? That question was put forward to Team Xbox during the earnings call. That was a question that was raised. You can't ask those questions if you tell people that you don't need an Xbox console to play. It's a complete contradiction. You either do care about the console or you don't. Like, I don't care that it's gone on to Amazon. I think, if people have Amazon Prime or whatever and they're going to get a deal on Amazon Prime, whatever. My problem isn't Amazon getting extra service. I don't care if they. I mean, I'm surprised, as Steve said. I mean, Steve turned around and said it earlier in the chat. I'm surprised. He said he's surprised that LG TV hasn't got it yet, because they've got their own weird LG OS. I don't know if the new TVs have that, but mine definitely has that weird LG OS. But he said he's surprised that LG doesn't have it. I'm surprised that they don't have it. My problem isn't not even a problem. My question isn't my issue isn't that the cloud gaming is going to other TVs. I expected it to be on all TVs. The fact that it was only on Samsung didn't make sense. That was stupid. If you're going to put it on a TV, put it on everything, right? So people don't have to jump through hoops, go and buy, like they did previously with the Chromecast with Google TV, and download it through there and play the mobile version of xCloud on GeForce Now on their TV. Release it everywhere. It's like the Xbox memory card. Why make it exclusive to Seagate? Was it Seagate? I think it was. Release it to everyone. Make the prices competitive. The more people that were making it at launch, the lower the price would be. Good competition. My problem isn't that at all. My problem is the wording. No console, but then 10 seconds later they're crying that they don't have enough. They're not selling enough consoles, and it's a complete contradiction to what they're saying, to what they're doing. Your Roku should have it, Kabini. It should be everywhere. I mean, even the Steam Deck right now should have a native Game Pass app, because that's the model that they want to have in terms of cloud. It should have one, even if they say, okay, we're not going to allow you to natively install the games because of Linux. There should still be a native Game Pass app on there. But now it's just Game Pass. Amazon's I I like the mythical race of muscle mummies. Indeed, indeed. Uh, Steve, I saw your tweet, but that's my issue. Bag. Phil tried to get Game Pass on PlayStation. Sony said no. Sony said no. ODG the Toy Man. No one's crying. I think you've just coming at a. You've come in the middle of a discussion, and I guess you're not getting the full picture. I think the name branding is the biggest pusher of the console. Regular people don't know any of this stuff. And I guess they're normies won't know the difference between anything. Woodpit. I mean, I used to use a Fire Stick ages ago, Steve, until they were shit, and I would have bought a Google TV instead. There is no problem with this offer one. I don't have a problem with the Amazon thing. I just said it raises an eyebrow because Phil came out and publicly said that Amazon is their main competitor. So that's the only eyebrow I see for this. But my biggest issue is this. There's so many ways you can turn around and say you don't need a console. This isn't it. This changes, of course, this changes stuff. Of course, it changes stuff. This means, this tells people If you want to play Xbox games, you don't need to buy a console. Because you don't. If your internet is good enough, you can just play it through the cloud. You don't need to play it through xCloud. You can play it through GeForce Now as well. You can play it through Boosteroid. You can play it for anything you want. It devalues. When you turn around and say no console, no problem, you are devaluing the console. And that doesn't make sense to me. But at least it now makes sense why this news came out. And it looks like, the whole Keystone information being cancelled, that actually makes sense now why it came out when it did, because they were preparing for the Amazon news. They were preparing for that. They kind of wanted to come out and say, "Hey, this is now cancelled. It's not coming, but we're releasing it. We're releasing xCloud on Amazon, and that's the smallest box you can buy to get your games on there." Phil Spencer did say that their focus is the console. That is different to priority, of course. Wordings are important. Again, Kabini, you're not understanding what I'm saying. They can release it on every cloud enabled device they want. That won't make a difference. It doesn't matter. The more cloud services that can play it, the better, in my opinion. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. It's this messaging that they need to get rid of. They can easily turn around and say, "We are expanding our cloud service to more platforms, and we are seeking to do this more and more, blah, blah, blah. Today, we'd like to announce a partnership with Amazon Fire TV and Amazon Fire Sticks. You will now be able to play cloud gaming on that." That sounds a lot better as a message than, "You don't need a console. Screw the console. You can play it on cloud." Because that's the message that gives. They just need to fix that messaging. Otherwise, release it on as many cloud devices as possible. I don't care. I've literally got no problem with them releasing it. Like, people, I mean, I'm seeing people in chat not understanding what I'm saying. I don't care if they released it on a million cloud enabled devices. Don't care. Literally means nothing to me. Just fix that message. There is so many better ways that you can say it. That's my issue. But yeah, at least it now makes sense why this was actually causing problems. Well, not causing problems. This was actually cancelled. It's a shame because they actually wanted this to. They were trying to get this down to $100 or $129.99. I think $129.99 is too expensive for this. I think $100 price point is about right. How much would you be willing to pay for a cloud box under your TV that you could, hardwire into your internet? I agree. I agree. 160. Damn. I think Steven hit the. I think Steven's That's what I would be paying for it. £199 is what I'd be willing to pay for it. 99.99. So £100. That would be what I would be willing to pay for a box that's just cloud on its own. Why would I buy an Apple TV? I don't need one. Or want one for that matter. No, Jamala, I get it. But usually, if you've got something that's standalone, that's not running through Wi Fi, that's running through an Ethernet port, that sole purpose is designed for it. I mean, I get the PS Portal is a bad example of this because that still has problems remote playing with games. So it's amazing that my Steam Deck can remote play better than the actual Portal, but you would expect a device built specifically for it to function better without it having to do extra processing around with any other OS in there. It's just solely designed for it. Obviously, the Portal's a bad example because it still runs like shit. It still has micro stutters, and you know it's just a bad device. That's on Sony to fix. Even after all these patches, they're still trying to fix that micro stutter that it still has. But usually, a standalone device would work in theory better, and that's why uh, I personally would be willing to pay $100 for this. But it's a shame they couldn't get the price down low enough. It is what it is. I'd say Sandra 129.99 with a controller. 120.99 with a controller, like 3 months of Game Pass tacked in. Yeah, I play it on my Steam Deck. Good stuff. I don't have a Samsung TV. I have an LG TV. I had to go and get the Google Chromecast with Google TV in order to be able to sideload Game Pass onto it. Exactly. There you go. I mean, I personally don't like Samsung TVs, but it seems to be something that Microsoft is really into. Phantom Archer, did you? Sorry, I didn't see it. I must have skipped it. Well, not skipped it, but it must have passed my purview. Scrolling up. If uh, if xCloud can play your own games, would it affect third-party devs from releasing games on Xbox since you can't buy games through xCloud? No, it wouldn't. As long as the third party is happy for those games to be available on the cloud on the service that you're buying them on, then no, it would basically be the same thing for them. They would still get their 70%, and Microsoft would get their 30. So, for example, if you bought Dragon's Dogma 2 and that on Xbox, and then that auto enabled it to be cloud ready, that wouldn't affect the third party publishers. In fact, that would be a very, very good thing for third party publishers because that would mean, doing that would mean that anyone out there that is using xCloud now has access to every game. As long as they purchase it, they can play it on xCloud. That's what it would mean, and that would change the whole game. That would change the whole game. Because then at that point, it opens up a breadth of options, even more than you have now. And every third party publisher out there would actually have a reason to port their games 100% every time without a shadow of doubt onto Xbox. Because then, I mean, you've got all the PC cloud gaming people, you've got all the console cloud gaming people, and you've got all the TV cloud gaming people. You got the mobile cloud gaming people. I mean, you open yourself up. Doing that opens you up to hundreds of millions of players. And the potential revenue increase from that is astronomical. In countries where they can't even buy the console, but they can get access to Game Pass and cloud services from Game Pass, that just opens up a breadth of options and a breadth of gaming. So 100%. If that's the direction that they're going in, where any game that you buy on Xbox is instantly cloud enabled, then yeah, that's going to be absolute. That's a game changer in itself. That right there is like massive. I don't think I don't even think people can comprehend how big of a change that would be to the gaming landscape. That would just rewrite the rules entirely, like completely from scratch. That would instantly make xCloud the the best value for money, best compatibility, best everything. Then they just need to work on uh, getting more Xboxes up there for single four blades instead of single blades. That was a good question, Fantas. Something I never really considered. But that's a really good point. Chat, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to continue? Or should I just call it here? I'll leave it up to you guys. I know the internet is going down and up. I can't do anything to fix it. I feel really bad. Just let me know what you want me to do. If you want me to call it and then we can continue this stream from Tuesday, then I'm happy to do that. Continue? Okay. Because believe me, I'm way more annoyed than anyone in chat right now about this. And my wife is on the phone at the moment to the ISP, and I can hear her giving them an absolute bollocking at the moment. But yeah, that's where I'm with this whole Amazon. I mean, I don't care it's on Amazon. I just want them to stop saying you don't need a console because I think it hurts the console side of gaming. But if they're going down the route of hey, if you buy the game on Xbox, then you can play it on xCloud. That changes everything, like literally everything. That's like biggest change you can put. Like I said, that change is so big. It's it's huge. That's you're probably right. Zrogdal, I am trying not to flip out even more than I already am internally. But did you see this? So apparently, Phil Spencer at PAX West 2024 will be giving a story time speech about his career as when he started Xbox, the 30-year journey he had, and his time as CEO. A lot of people are taking this as his swan song. What do you think? But base, I don't know what I've said that's actually even insinuating there's drama. My stance on the Amazon thing is quite clear. It's odd because Microsoft said they're their biggest competitor, but ultimately, I don't care. It you know what will affect it is the messaging, and that just needs to they need to change that. But what do you think of this messaging? If I paid for my game, I should play it anywhere, not just as at home and not just on console. Well, that's the traditional model, Sanchez. It depends how the company. Maybe the companies will try to monetize that going forward by saying, "Hey, you can buy the game for $60, but if you want to play it on cloud, you need to pay an extra $5 to enable it." Who knows how they're going to do it? Or maybe it'll just be freely enabled, or maybe they'll bump up the price by a little bit and have it enabled automatically. That's something for Microsoft and their partners to decide. But there's no reason why they can't make it cloud enabled. I mean, if you are looking at GeForce now, they've made it as easy as possible. I mean, working with Steam, they've made it as easy as possible. Any of those games on Steam can be cloud enabled through one checkbox. It's just the checkbox at the moment. When you look at the game, it has a checkbox there saying cloud enabled, yes or no, and you just check that box, and it will it can appear on the cloud. If it's unchecked, it doesn't appear on GeForce Now. It's really they've actually made it that simple. So I'm pretty sure when it comes to the other games, it'll be just as simple. I mean, it could be bollocks. Phil is a great figure, charismatic. Xbox needs to celebrate to be proud of its achievements. Sales figures come with time, and it's on its way. To promote Phil is to promote Xbox. It is great marketing, and people will watch carefully what he has to say. Of course, they will. They're going to be looking for any single bit of thing that he says wrong to start shitting on the guy. Eventually, say to Mangs, eventually. But he's now been there for 30 years. I think it's. I don't think there's going to be any real thing from it. At PAX West 2024, which runs from August 30th to September the 2nd, the Microsoft Gaming CEO will take the main stage to deliver an informative and engaging talk on his expansive career in the games industry spanning 30 years, several Xbox console generations. So that's the whole concept of the talk. Informative and engaging talk on his expansive career in the games industry. And well, that's the part people are clinging on to at the moment because you're going to see it a lot up until this conversation where they say that he's stepping down, he's quitting, he's going doing whatever. So be prepared and embrace yourself for those because it's a coming. I mean, I still don't understand who here is moaning about Amazon Fire Stick. Okay, in chat, right? Quick chat. Put a one in chat if you actually do care that Microsoft has put Amazon on the Fire Stick. xCloud on the Amazon Fire Stick. Put two if you don't care. One if you care, two if you don't care. I can do that, Bags. That'll be an interesting outcome. Okay, so I think almost everyone doesn't care. Now you already said free, Steve. You're out. One was I do care if it's on Amazon Fire Stick TV. Two is if you don't care. So as you can see, there is no drama about Amazon having xCloud. I don't think anyone cares. And the only thing I said that raised an eyebrow, which I think you're going to be seeing, and I've already shown a tweet where people are raising this actual information. You know, that Phil said Amazon is their main competitor and they're putting it on there. So, you know, that's going to be the drawback. But the biggest thing, like I've been saying, the biggest issue for me is their wording. They just need to fix that. Right? But I can see Phil is winning. For you Palworld lovers out there, we do have a new update that's now out. New island, pals, subspecies, raid, hard mode bosses, enemy oil rig, expanding building, new level cap, and more. Xbox dedicated servers, and you also have arena mode. You wanted content, you got it. Plus 18 gigabytes of Palworld just for you. Who here still plays Palworld? Sandra, that counts. Nice Star Cream. Nice Star Scream. Well, Gem, you've got a metric ton of stuff to do. You got loads to do. They're all pretty much done. An oil rig controlled by Rain Syndicate has appeared in the ocean. Work together with your friends to defeat powerful enemies and claim valuable resources such as crude oil. Power cap is increased to 55. Players can now adventure to level 55. New technologies available. Upper limit of for PAL's capture bonus has been increased from 10 to 12. Lots here. New raid, Vladimir Ryu has arrived. The strongest dragon pal in the game. A meteorite event. Meteorites or supplies will fall from space sometimes. There may even be an unknown pal from outer space too. Oh, that is cool. If this is a timed event, the meteorite event, if you're really, really into this game, you should be playing this quite a lot and trying to get that, limited power. Gem, me too, man, me too. I'm gonna be live. I'm hoping to be live tomorrow. I hope my internet does not shit on me tomorrow. But I'm hoping to be live tomorrow and playing through the campaign, early access, for potentially 3 days straight over at Twitch. Does this Amazon deal further help against the FTC case? Yes. Yes, it does. Everything that Microsoft does that is seen pro consumer will aid them in their case to show that they're not really holding anything back. But I think Microsoft already has done more than enough to show that the FTC is full of shit. Yeah, that ending to Endwalker, man. I know there's a few people in the chat that haven't played it yet, so I'm going to be very selective with what I'm saying, but you'll understand. But as you went through them one by one, man, that was breaking me, man. It broke me in ways I didn't think a video game could. I I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. But Jem, I do have to ask one question before I continue with the good old stream. At the very end, when he asked you, are you doing it for power and pleasure, or are you just this righteous prick? Did you give in and give him the answer he wanted? Because I did, personally. I did. And the response I got just made it even better. So, what do you think about Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, which doesn't look like a remaster, it looks like a remake? Did it crash? Well, I'm hoping Jem heard. I'm hoping Jem heard what I said because it was more directed at him. More people playing Palworld than Rise of Ronin and Rebirth at the moment. I mean, Palworld's going to be huge at the moment. The Steam chart numbers are going to be, well, if it's just been released, I expect them to be massive with a new update. Let's have a look. Palworld. Definitely a massive boost. 24-hour peak was 99, almost 100,000. And it's now sitting at 51,000 51 minutes ago. So it's Thursday. I suspect that's going to go up a little higher by close to midnight when the US get online. Interesting. Interesting. Still going down. Is it really broken? Mark, it Depends. It depends. Wuthering Waves is new. I'm not fond of the combat. Uh, it feels stiff and limited compared to another gacha game that I play. So I'm still seeing how it's going. It's still early days for Wuthering Waves. Honkai Star Rail has a good story. It is turn based, very limited turn based, with the choices that you have for attacking. But it's if you like turn based, you might enjoy it. Genshin is combat system is all about combining elements. The characters have different elements. It's got a pretty good story as well. Well, it's got a really good story. Um, but the combat start system, you kind of have to enjoy it. It's not if you go in hack and slashing, you're not going to get anywhere. You do need to learn how to use the elements to your advantage. Like for example, if you use a water-based character and hit an enemy, then you can freeze them and adds a frozen debuff on them -30% with certain characters, and they can actually do some serious amounts of damage and get huge chunks of bosses' HPs down. If you're just hacking and slashing, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to kill anything. So I think all the combats are different enough. But if we're looking at the raw thing, I think the gacha I'm playing at the moment is better than all of them in terms of just the combat. Story wise, it's a real toss up for Genshin and Honkai at the moment. I hope that answered your question, Mark. Uh, Genshin, you get for. I mean, you can get them from their main websites. Not from what I'm reading, Sanchez. Everyone hates the seasonal content or the episode content. Bags, I think it's time to call it a little bit. But yeah, what do you think about Dead Rising coming back to all next gen consoles, the Xbox included? What's your thoughts on it? Like the handsome Jack asking the real questions there. I haven't timed my history. I don't think I've timed them out at all. Maybe someone else has, but not me. Is it a remaster though? Because that don't look like a remaster to me. I'm sorry, but that don't look like a remaster to me of the first game. Wasn't the first game on the 360? That looks more like a remake to me than a remaster. I'm actually looking forward to this. I really am. Look, they're saying they redesigned Frank anyway. That was the original, right? That was the original. That's him now. That is not a remaster. You said scroll up. No, I get it says remaster, but that is not a remaster. That's not a remaster. I mean, The Last of Us Part 1 remake was just retextured new textures, right? Which is basically what this is. So what makes that a remake and this not a remake? Who's going up? Who's going up? Oh, who's that? Is that you? You said. Get on. It's a remake, right? But yeah, that to me, no way that looks like a remaster. I know, but they didn't change anything with The Last of Us Part 1 remake, did they? It's a one-to-one game. All they did was improve the graphics. Beyond Good and Evil is going to be great. I don't know. This looks great to me. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed all of them. Part 3 was, if I remember correctly, exclusive on Xbox at the time. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I wonder if they're still going to have that achievement where you have to kill every single zombie in the city, the whole population. I think it was like 65,000 or something. That was a cool achievement to get. John Gray, none of the mechanics in Tilu changed either. But this is interesting. Machine Games is working on multiple titles, budgets of from 6 to 9 figures, internal external resources with more than 300 people spending, and so it's not just I mean, we only know about Indiana Jones that they're working on, but they are working on multiple different titles with huge budgets. Probably won't see anything until 2026, 27 at this point. But I suspect maybe a couple of them, well, there's a chance I would see something at Gamescom, maybe. But still, plan and execute budgets from 6 to 9 figures. That's a lot of money. Back, no idea. They don't. There's no indication of what the games are. There's the source. The source. Wolfenstein. People are guessing. Quake 6. I don't know. I thought this was quite interesting. It's already set the framework for more games to come. And God knows what they will be, though. Hey, boss, base. Game Pass never makes money, man. According to these, though, Game Pass pretty much barely limps over. The fact that it makes around $450 million a month and it doesn't make any money. Hey, Steve, just give me, half a percent of that money and I should be okay. I'll be fine. Half a percent and I'm happy. I mean, Game Pass is extremely profitable. I don't understand how people still think that it is not. It's crazy that people still think that it's not making any money. Okay, this is a serious question, right? Has this dude, Oliver Darko, actually ever made a post that isn't a fat L? I actually don't know. I've never seen a post from him that's been a W. I've never seen a post from him that even meets halfway. This dude is like the king of bad takes. And there's a lot of people out there with bad takes. But this dude continues to impress me with just how bad his takes can be. I don't get it. Like, how do you create your whole persona with everyone thinking you're a thick as shit? Slightly handsome Jack, I am fully aware of this, but that doesn't mean they're abandoning the current one. There are reasons as to why I know they're not. I mean, they're not abandoning the current one, and some of the reasons for that is good, some not so good. But we do know at least for another 9 years that the Tower Fantasy is going to continue with regular updates and features and modes and whatnot. But I am aware that they're making another one and they're learning from what worked and didn't work from Tower and putting it into that new one. Because that's the game that I play, Tower Fantasy. Oh, so you agree to being the king of bad takes. Good job, Bags. Phil Spencer, 2022. We cancelled Xbox Keystone because it was more expensive than our targeted price of $99.99. Yeah. Phil Spencer, 2024. We proudly introduced our new discless Xbox Series X for $599. I mean, the fact that you agree with this statement means that you are absolutely stupid. Because first of all, the $600 console is the special edition, which has a disc drive. So the first thing you want to do is go to an optician and get your eyes re-examined, because that's worrying. I mean, I'm partially blind, and I can see that this console has a disc drive, the one that he selected. The fact that you can't is actually concerning. Please don't drive. Not with that eyesight. Because if you're not seeing the disc drive on the special edition and not seeing that this is not, the this is not the one that is all digital, my dude, I'm seriously concerned. Hopefully, not working in finance or something, because that would be real bad. Because missing something like this can cost big. Did Peter Over's account ever come back? Nah, he was too busy following Tim, innit? And, well, he believed that the curse from Tim wouldn't actually cross over. Little did he know that Tim's curse is revolutionary. It goes everywhere. He was another one that succumbed to Tim's curse. So you take what you said back. If you take it back, I take my comments back. That's how this works, Bag. If you take it back, I take mine back because I accept that reasoning that you're watching on a mobile phone. I think that's fair. But yeah, the curse, the Tim's. I mean, just look at it. My dude went over, bought a PlayStation Portal. Now loads of people are complaining about the Portal. He bought a PSVR. The moment he buys the PSVR 2, Sony announces that they're no longer supporting it. And now that he's got a PS5, Sony's announced the first title, just like on PC, is going a multi-plat. He is doing a lot of work. Oh, he's working overtime over at Camp PlayStation. My dude he's working straight up overtime over at Camp PlayStation. But don't worry, once it's finished there, it's gonna move on to Nintendo. You know what, Steve? I don't get it. I've seen your tweets online, and people are saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna pay £600 for that," laughing emoji, and it's like it's limited edition or special edition, whatever. It's going to cost more. you know, it's in the name, folks. I still think they should restructure the price for the discless version. I think that should go down to $399.99. I really think the $449.99 is a bad price. That's a horrible, horrible price. I really think they should change that. But this dude has not had a single good take that I've seen ever. Ever. I don't think I've ever seen him with a good take. And the fact is, he can't even get a year right. It's 2024 we cancelled Keystone because it was more expensive than our targeted price. He couldn't even get the year right. So this one's a bit different, right? This one's a bit different. This is more of a PSA. Forza Horizon 4, due to legal reasons, licensing, music, and I think a couple of vehicles, it's coming off indefinitely. Microsoft has decided that, repaying for the music and stuff like that. This is the problem when you use, licensed music. It sucks. Games do unfortunately go offline and some disappear forever because of the licensed music. I think they should just take the licensed music out and, if necessary, just use the tracks that are in there that's not. And if all of them are licensed, then well, you kind of screwed. But Forza Horizon 4 will reach end of life status. It is playable offline on December the 15th. The Series 77 ending on August 22. On December the 15th, Forza Horizon 4 will be delisted from stores, all stores, be it PC and Xbox. If you buy it, then you will indefinitely have it, and even if you remove it from your console or from Steam, you will still have the opportunity to re-download it. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry. It's a bit of both, Bag. It's a bit of both. It's both the cars and the license music that's used in there because they have licensed music in there. So it's a bit of both. When was Forza Horizon 4 released? Forza Horizon 4 released. It's not that old, actually. It's 6 years old. Not even 6 years yet. It was released on September the 28th, 2018. It got 9 out of 10 on Steam. So it's actually rated quite highly. In my opinion, if you like racing games, it's worth picking up. I think it's like £10 now on Steam at the moment. Really weird that Xbox still has it on sale for $40, but Steam has it on sale for $10. So you might want to consider picking it up because once it's gone, it's gone. 2018. I'm sure this will be over by today, Jim, because it it usually lasts for a couple of hours. I mean, last time this happened was when the Xbox Showcase was on, and then it fixed itself. If people remember, uh, but it's annoying. It's really annoying. I really hope it doesn't continue to tomorrow. That they said they're looking into it, so hopefully this will be fixed. But yeah, I hope it doesn't because I am very much looking forward to Dawn Trail. I've got a day off tomorrow from work just so I can play Dawn Trail with a friend of mine. We pretty much do the campaign every time, every year together. So I really hope it does get fixed tomorrow. Otherwise, I am well and truly screwed. All right, we're coming back to this story. Yeah, but Steve, it wasn't doing this before. This is like the second time it's done it, and I'm pretty sure it's the router, but I can't buy another router. You can't buy a standard router for it to work on this stupid Now TV. It needs to be Protocol 6061, and the majority of the routers, if not like 99% of them, do not support Protocol 60 or 61. You have to go through a crazy, uh, you know, a lot of people are talking about, going into system settings via Linux and changing it through there and making changes to the config, which can absolutely destroy your router. So it's a problem because I wanted to go and buy another router, but because this router is absolutely shit, but I can't find a router to buy, not one within like £100 range. What's the problem with this? So, I mean, you can see the difference in graphical fidelity, right? This one's a bit more washed out. This one's a bit more kind of, the colors aren't as vibrant. It's not as shiny. And these updates are provided from, it's not someone randomly taking pictures of these. These are from the developers. You can see that it's had a lot of work done to it for the cars. Should the should games come out in this state, or should they be coming out in this state? And how did people feel about games coming out in a state where clearly they can look better, but they're pushed out anyway? And this doesn't just apply to Xbox games. Uh, you know, the same applies to Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm not sure how long it's been since it came out. All that performance issues that people were suffering from, and now you can change the graphics from high to low, and have 120 hertz output on and off, so you can clearly run this game at a better frame rate now than you could at launch. So this isn't just me having a dig at Forza Motorsport. This is me more games coming out before they're ready or before their time. So I guess the question that I'm asking is, are you happy for the game to come out in the state of update free and gradually see the improvement as updates are released? Or do you feel that they should just get the game to the where update 9 is? I mean, if you just look at the skybox, it looks miles better than what it used to be. Way better. Do you think it should wait until it gets to this point before they actually release it? I mean, what's the problem with Now TV Protocol 61 thing you were saying? So normal DSL routers don't support Protocol 6061. Now TV uses Protocol 6061, which is something that's specific to their form of internet delivery. Same as Sky TV, and going and buying generic standard, TP Link or Netgear. Netgear, for example, do not support that protocol at all. TP Link doesn't support it either. So trying to find a router that actually supports Protocol 6061, which basically doesn't require the username and password to be input because it doesn't use it, unlike normal DSLs, which kind of pass through your username and password to give you your internet. This doesn't have that. So it kind of bypasses all that with the way they do their internet, and finding a router that's got 6061 support in the UK is really, really hard because I can't find any. Well, I found some for £1,000. I'm not paying £1,000 for a router. Not when I could be out of here in 3 weeks. And then my problems are all going to be resolved once I go to a new place, hopefully. But yes, that's another thing. I could potentially be, well, I'll say potentially, but potentially in about 3 weeks, I could be getting my marching orders again. So watch this space. But yeah, I just thought it was we've seen this multiple times now where companies release the game in a state and then gradually over time fix it, make it better, add more support. I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on this. You're happy with them releasing it and then, I mean, I guess with Forza you didn't really pay for it, but would you be happy paying £70 for a game and then getting the game looking nicer, better, performing better, 13 months later? You skate. I ain't paying £1,000 for a router. Are you crazy? No point in owning. No point of owning a PS5. Just play your PS4. That's all these ponies clapping their fins for last gen games. Well, there is some truth to that. To be honest, I'm happy to wait for the better product, but I know for many, as long as it's playable, they'll take the early release. They'll take it and then cry about the performance, right? Like a lot of people saying to for Dragon's Dogma, just release it, hurry up, we want it out now, we want to play it now, and then they release it with like really shoddy performance, and then they were all moaning, and it's like, can't win. As Rob, it's not publishers that force it; it's the shareholders that force it. A prime example is, well, if you lot remember a game called Anthem. Now that game, the developers said it was not ready for launch. Uh, the actual, studio leads, the project leads, said the game was not ready to be launched. The shareholders turned around and said, if you don't release the game now, we're not funding anything else for this game, and we're pulling all our funding. I know this for a fact because I knew one of the shareholders that was there at the time. And EA had no choice. They literally had no choice. They just had to release it in its current state, or they weren't going to get additional funding to try and fix it. So the majority of the time when these games are coming out in the state that they're in, it's not because of the studio or the publisher. It's more because the shareholders are demanding it. I mean, I can see that point, Steve. If a game runs well, but lacks in some cosmetic finesse, then release it. I could totally respect that. But yeah, so I don't blame the publishers for this. You know, the studio or the developers. It's always the shareholders. And I mean, even Anthem 2 getting cancelled, for example, was a shareholder decision, not an EA decision. The shareholders decided that they wanted to shelve it. And so that's what EA did. Oh, yes, Steve, it did run really well. So Steam has released a new game recording feature that's available on the Steam Deck as well, but it's actually available on Steam as well if you're running the beta version of Steam. You can now record the moment you boot up a game, it can now record and you can cut clips and then save them, and it just makes everything a lot easier for you. It's actually pretty cool, and it's available on the deck as well. If you're running the games on deck, it's actually quite impressive. And there's a little clip here that shows you how it works. So as you can see, that's the part you want. Save and share. It's actually pretty cool. I think it's a really nice idea. I know GeForce Now, or GeForce Experience, does something like this. Well, Nvidia has a tool that does this, but a lot of people have problems with Nvidia, the software. So this is more of a universal tool, and seeing as a lot of people, well, most people are on Steam anyway, this seems like a no-brainer, right? You can have it actually streaming from the moment you actually start playing your game, or you can have it where you press a hotkey and it starts recording, and you press a hotkey and it stops recording. What do you think? Another win for Valve? Apparently, it's already working. Can send it from my Steam Deck to phone with QR code all on my main PC. That's pretty damn cool. Yeah, a lot of people say it's glitchy Zrugdal, and so this is why people are really happy that Valve released their own version. It seems to be working. Worth a try. Check it out. But before I go into the next story, which is iOS, there's four. If you watch the Xbox showcase that recently came out, this was something that I was going to touch on earlier, and I kind of got sidetracked with other stuff and shoddy internet that I've got tonight. One of the things that you know I noticed was that almost every game that was shown, every game that was shown had either the generic Xbox logo, Xbox Game Pass, or if it was multiplayer, it was Game Pass on PC and PS5, whatever. But there was 4 games so far that haven't had any tagging on there. Doom was not. Gears E Day is one of them. Blade is another. What was the other two? Perfect Dark Zero. Perfect Dark was another one, and there was one more. I want to say Elder Scrolls, but I'm pretty sure it's not Elder Scrolls. It was something else. But either way, it's not coming to mind at the moment. Maybe someone in chat will remind me which one it was. But there was like 4 or 5 games that didn't have a logo. And considering everything else did have a logo, and the likes of Gears E-Day not having a logo, the likes of Perfect Dark not having a logo, all of these are kind of penciled in for 2026. I think this is a really big telling that the next Xbox console is going to land 2026 and is going to be launching or launching in the launch window with these games. I think that's where State of Decay, that was the one. I think that's where it's going. Obviously, you've got Elder Scrolls 6 as well. And, Phil said in the FTC trial that they estimate a release date of 2026. So at the moment, we've got State of Decay, Elder Scrolls 6, we've got Gears E-Day, we've got Perfect Dark, and we've got I probably missed one again. But there's 5 games there now. 5 games that are potentially, with no logo, are going to be launching as exclusives for the next Xbox. I might be reaching here. I might be, grasping at straws. But it's odd that these 5 games didn't have any logo whatsoever. No Xbox generic logo, no nothing. And I really think that that's Blade. And I really think that these 5 games are being pushed right now because we've already heard from Todd Howard that Elder Scrolls, is already in development. He can't reveal anything about it, but it's in development. So, I don't know. What do you think? Obviously, there's going to be a COD as well released during that time because the consoles usually come out around November. November the 10th, 11th is usually the date that they usually come out. So, imagine the next Xbox landing with Blade, Call of Duty, Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3, and Gears E-Day. That's an insane launch for a console. But it kind of lines up, right? Maybe it's because it's lining up, it makes more sense. But to me, there's something there. I mean, everything seems to be lining up, almost like how, everything where I'm working at the moment is lining up to September for us all to lose our jobs. Like, it's literally obvious that that's where it's going. But this is the same thing. It's kind of, everything is kind of lining up perfectly for that 2026, zone for them to release the console and have their best launch lineup yet. It's official. The Acolyte has been cancelled. Took them long enough. That show was the way they rewrote it, the way they tried to rewrite everything was trash. Maybe they'll listen next time. But am I crazy in seeing this and thinking about this? Or is anyone else noticing this? Steve, you said November 2026. I get that. Yeah, Gears E-Day. Am I being crazy? I mean, Steven seems like he agrees with me, but I think it's like it's looking more and more obvious that this is the direction it's going in, and I can see that happening. November 7th, to be precise. Why? Microsoft historically has released their consoles between the 9th and the 11th, right? Have they released it any later? Their consoles? I mean, Gears E they will, but I think the others will also. State of Decay 3, Blade, uh, Perfect Dark. It's going to be a very expensive situation if they're releasing all of those at the same time on Xbox. It's going to be crazy. Obviously, if you've got Game Pass, I'm assuming it's going to pass on to the next generation console. That would make sense. Or maybe they're gonna. I'm not even gonna go into speculation in case someone clips it and then starts saying, "Oh, Chaos said this. Get it. Get him. Get that bastard." So that's like the craziest lineup ever. I mean, Call of Duty landing then as well is like mental, right? Not that expensive. You only is. Will Cloud be good enough to make a clean break with Gen 9 so that there are no cross gen games? Uh, Honestly, cloud gaming cloud gaming right now, in my opinion, is good enough. If your internet connection is good, you've got like, I don't know, a five a 3 to 500 meg down and 3 to 5 up, or even 100 up. It's good enough. I mean, when I was playing over in my old place where I had 1,000 down, I think I had the 100 up at the time when I was streaming Alan Wake 2 through GeForce Now, and people didn't realize I was actually streaming the game while I was playing. They didn't notice until I actually told them that I'm streaming, and they said, "What? Prove it." And then I actually showed them that I was on GeForce Now, and they didn't believe it. Now, obviously, there's a bit of latency there. There's always going to be latency there. I think the latency I was getting was about 3 milliseconds, 2 milliseconds, which is almost not noticeable considering you get around the same latency with a wireless controller. So overall, it made no difference. So I think cloud gaming right now, as long as you've got a fiber connection, is playable. We're there. It's just not all areas have that sort of internet, as evident by my shit stream tonight with the performance. Right? Chaos, if you were leading Xbox, what direction would you take it? That's a good question. If I was leading Xbox at the time, I would have semi done what they did here, but not the way Phil done it. If I wanted people, if I wanted to sell Game Pass and I wanted people in my ecosystem, I would have when I make the games for Xbox. If they go to PC, the only place that they would have went to on PC is PC Game Pass. That's it. That's my ecosystem. You want to play the games on PC? You can play them on PC Game Pass. If you don't like downloading a launcher, you can go buy the console, play it on the console. You have the choice of both. But I would not have done it on Steam. I think by doing it on Steam, they kind of shot themselves in the foot. But obviously, the bean counters at Microsoft clearly saw that Steam was the most popular platform. But if you want people on your ecosystem, that's the way you do it. You have to kind of guide them to it, funnel them to it in one direction. And then I would have made it like, I don't know, maybe a year, 18 months before it went to Steam. And if people wanted to wait a year or 18 months, good for them. But not everyone's going to wait a year to 18 months. Don't forget, at the end of the day, Twitter isn't the overall the economy. It's a small portion of people you'll see. That's what I would have done. I would have also, a company the size of Microsoft, I don't think you needed to buy um, Activision Blizzard. I mean, they bought it for King, obviously, but if you were going through the console side of things and the gaming side of things, I would have just started money hatting exclusives, third party exclusives, to get people onto your Xbox platform. There were so many things they could have done but they chose to go a route that at the time for them made sense, but for me doesn't. That's what I would have done. Because the landscape would have looked differently. Maybe they would have got into full cloud. Or maybe they would have looked at cloud as a supplement for gaming rather than trying to push it mainstream, which is where it's going now. Maybe that would have delayed the whole cloud structure. But there's multiple things that they could have done. You know? Sorry, just responding to Docky Dark. All right. But yeah, so that's my view. That's how I would have done it. Because you want people on your ecosystem. By releasing it on Steam day one, you're you're not put you're basically taking people away from your ecosystem. Steam is not within the Game Pass ecosystem. It never was, it never will be. At least until Game Pass gets integrated into Steam. And if that happens, then you can say it's part of Steam. But until then, it's not part of the ecosystem. Yeah, that was their mistake. That was their mistake. But the horrendous launch of the Xbone, and it's really. Do you want to know what's the worst part? It's crazy, right? Because it's so unfortunate because Microsoft were poised to go first to announce their Xbox One, and Sony second. And from what I've heard, there was actually a bit of a debate who's going to announce their console first. And I think through E3, Microsoft actually came trumps and actually announced their console first. And as you saw or remember, it was received really badly with the whole Connect, online DRM, but mainly the Connect, right? Did you guys know that the PS4 was supposed to launch with a camera? It was going to come bundled with the console that you had to pay extra for. I think it was like £100 extra on the PS4. That was a thing. And when they saw the reaction to um, the Xbox Connect, backstage they 86'd it. They 86'd the camera and came with a new price structure there and then to announce when it came for their turn. Like, did any of you know that was all done after Microsoft came out first? Can you imagine if it was the other way around? But yeah, so Sony actually had it, and that it was all bundled with it, and you didn't have a choice to get the PS4 without the PlayStation camera. It actually came with it, and they were basically doing what Microsoft were doing. But when they saw the real negative reception that Microsoft got on stage, that shit got 86 backstage, and they come up with a new pricing strategy. I mean, that's the other thing, Steve. The multimedia center. I mean, everyone uses their consoles now to. Well, I won't say everyone because it's not everyone, but so many now use their consoles to watch multimedia, whether it's YouTube, Netflix, HBO, Apple TV. It doesn't matter. They use it now. So the thing that they actually laughed at Microsoft for back in the day, they're doing it now. Microsoft just way ahead of their time. They went berserk over the Connect because it added an extra $100 on console, and people didn't want the Connect. Now, the idea to bundle the Connect with the console is really smart. The idea to bundle the PlayStation camera with the console was really smart because if you sell 50 million consoles, that's 50 million people that have a Connect. That means, or the PlayStation camera. That means if the third-party developers are looking at that, they don't have to think, man, I wonder what the market reach is if I release a game on Connect or PlayStation camera. They don't need to wonder that because they know that if there's 50 million sold, that's 50 million potential customers out there. That's their market. The moment you make it optional, it's a dead product. The PSVR is a prime example. It's an optional product. If the PSVR was bundled with the PS5, I don't know, maybe increase the price by 100 or two, you would have seen a lot more third party developers making games specifically for it because there's a market for it. Because 60 million people would have owned it. That's a huge market. But right now, because it's an optional purchase, companies are worried that they're just not going to make their money. And rightfully so, because they can't gauge the market. Mate, HoloLens was so cool with the whole Minecraft demonstration. It's a shame it's never going to be. Rum and what and everyone's being spied on now by everywhere, whether it's through your phone, your webcam, or anywhere else. It's all happening. It's crazy. It's still happening. Wayne's World, take it easy, my dude. I'm enjoying the new Destiny 2. Somebody kindly donated the new final shape. Oh, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. Okay, someone is really eager to press that horn. People were concerned that the Connect bundled with Cortana being an always on device would be spying on people at home. Mate, your phone is spying on you all the time. Everything is spying on you. Nothing ever changes. Don't ever stick a camera in the box with my game console. That's okay, they'll stick it on the outside of the console. As long as you're happy to pay for it, they'll attach it to the external of the case. That way it's no longer inside the box. If that's all it takes for you to buy it, JT Gamer, that's all it needs. But yeah, if you're not, attaching, getting those games on the peripherals with the console, you might as well not release it. It's just not going to do well. It's the same thing with like the PSP and the Vita, right? They were going up against the 3DS, which had already established itself. But even though they were slightly different in the case where Sony just didn't support them and let them die, which was a bit of a shame because they were nice hardware, especially the Vita. That could have actually worked remote play with the PS5 right now and would have been actually really useful. But Sony decided that that is not how they want to do things. They want you to waste more money and buy a portal that kind of works sometimes. I'm back. I could be talking about pizza, and 5 minutes later, my phone is showing me ads for discounts for pizza ad. You know what? Taz was saying the same thing um, to me not long ago, where he was talking with his missus, and they weren't touching their phones or anything, And then when she went on her phone to start scrolling through to see what, just browsing Facebook or something, they started seeing ads for the stuff that they were talking about. So they're always listening, they're always hearing. As you said before, it's because Microsoft always goes too early. That's it. They jump the gun. They want to be the first past the line. They just need to hold off. They need to be more like Apple. Wait until someone else is there, and then you innovate and make it better. That's pretty much it. But then there's this news here, and I think this is being, blown out of proportion. Personally, mate, Alexa was pissing me off. Alexa was, just annoying. Like I'm talking like on streams, and then it triggers off for no reason, even though there's nothing I'm saying that is supposed to trigger her. But so currently on iOS, moving on from that topic, but slightly similar. Resident Evil 4 and Assassin's Creed Mirage and Death Stranding sold poorly. New estimates suggest with Mirage said to have sold fewer than 3,000 games. Now, this is being seen in a really negative light at the moment and seen as a complete and utter failure. But is this actually a failure? Is the real question. I mean, 3,000 is not a lot. Let's be fair. But when you take into consideration that these games can only be played on an iPhone 15 Pro, and it's recommended that you play it on an iPhone 15 Max, not a Pro, but a Max. So you're literally dwindling yourself down to one specific handset that it's recommended for, and one that can play it, but you're not really guaranteed the best performance or the best outcome. So if you already know that and the games tell you that they might not run well, you're probably not going to buy it on the Pro, but you're going to on the Max, it runs fine. So you're narrowing it down just to that device, which is the most expensive handset that they've got. Does this come as a shock to you? I have an example of why would not up to speed for cloud. I still do not have gaming internet speed in my area. Uh, what's your internet speed, JT? It's probably better than mine right now. Right? I mean, it has to be better than mine right now. Unless you live in the bamboos. I mean, I can see that, Sanchez. I can see that. iPhone 15 Max versus an Xbox, which somebody already has to do the maths. I mean, clearly, there's no point in doing that. That's just being silly. 3,000 people spent $70 on an app. Yes. The problem with Apple is they don't come in later and make things better. They just come in and make things more expensive and claim it was their idea to begin with. They definitely make it more expensive, but I do feel like they do polish it more. If I look at the stuff that Android has released, and then they come around like 6 months to a year later and do the same thing, it feels a lot more polished. When Android release it, it feels more beta before they actually get to version 1.0. Yeah, and that's probs 1,000 people buying to do YouTube TikTok vids to show them for views. Not I wanted to buy the game. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. You could only get 64 meg at one point, mate. Skaboosh! I'm not even hitting 60, so I'll take your 64 meg and good upload and cheer it on. Less than a meg, Jesus. Where do you live in the countryside? Slightly off topic, but for all the shit the ARM Surface tablet's getting, it plays Cyberpunk rather well. Well, according to what is it? Digital Foundry, it can't run Crisis free, and it won't boot some games. But I wasn't expecting it to be um, a gaming machine. First, even with a slightly lower prospect Xbox One, they would have outsold the company. I mean, if Sony went first and Microsoft saw that reaction, that Connect would have been 86 by Microsoft as well. I have no doubt about that. That reaction was way over the top. But we come to this for Monday. I'm praying my internet's going to be good. So as you know, I stream on Mondays over at Twitch, and I play Tower of Fantasy over there on Mondays. I was supposed to be streaming this Wednesday, but the temperature was just way too hot, and I could barely keep my eyes open awake, so that was just not going to happen. But this is happening. It's a 25-minute stream. It starts 11 o'clock my time. So I'm planning on potentially at 11 o'clock. Well, I'm planning on at 11 to switch over to this while I'm over at Twitch and watching it. So for those people that do want to check this out, it's a 25-minute stream. Feel free to drop by my Twitch channel and we can definitely check it out together. But yeah, as long as my internet is good. But that's the plan for this. It's going to be over on my Twitch channel because I'm going to be already streaming there from around 7:30. At least I plan to go live at 7:30, and at 11 o'clock we'll switch to this. So for anyone interested, it's there. It's a shame Anime wasn't here today because I actually found a few games that are actually coming to Xbox, but he didn't turn up, or maybe he did turn up and because of my internet connection he left. So I'll have to show those later. But ultimately, I'm guessing everyone's heard about the whole doc situation. That's gotten even worse. The guy's finished. He's cooked. The media would have run cover for Sony and buried the negative reaction. There's no way that would have been that would have been funny to see. But that wouldn't have been the reaction. But yeah. I can't go to my mom and sisters and say, all right, turn off your Netflix, Paramount, etc. I want to cloud game. I mean, I remember when my internet was bad at times. I mean, even now, I give the kids a shout when I'm uploading a video. If you have bad performance because I'm uploading a video, you've got a 5 minute warning before I go. I'm uploading. Good luck, and they make sure they're not doing anything. Might be a bit selfish, but they understand why I'm doing it. Oh, the PS5 controller was crazy with the mic. The fact that they left that always on. Visions of Mana, Persona, Metaphor, Dragon Quest 3, we eating good over here on Xbox. All I need is Final Fantasy Pixel Collection announcement, and 2024 is a W. I think we won't see that at Gamescom. I think we'll see it at Tokyo Game Show, along with 16. Honestly, he's just an internet stream. He used to be a Twitch streamer before he got banned. Very flamboyant, very outlandish. He had a persona that he created, but he decided that he wanted to fuck around, and well, he found out. I think I just answered this question. Is he actually going to prison? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was bad. I need to pick Quantum fail because you guys want me to play it. But yeah, I'm really hoping my internet is good tomorrow because that will really suck because that is tomorrow's a big day for me with the release of Dawn Trail. But yeah, are there any other stories that anyone wants to talk about? I did not promise no SBI dating sim. Oh no, he's actually called Doctor Disrespect. It's just a persona that he created. Nothing more, nothing less. And it's now been found that he was actually kind of exploiting uh, other women by getting them to send pictures and nude stuff and do cam shows for him with the promise of getting Twitch partnership. And he then turned around and said, "Sorry, I can't do it." After, and then blocked him. And the worst part is the fact that he's a transphobe. Uh, he was actually reaching out to trans women, which makes it even worse. Which means the whole time that he was actually claiming to be transphobic, he was lying. He was just pandering to those in his community that wanted him to be. Would you recommend for Final Fantasy 14 solo earlier on as a beginner or party up to co-op content? So Final Fantasy 14 can be played solo with the exception of the dungeons and the primal fights. Honestly, it plays pretty much like a solo game for 90% anyway. It, the actual leveling in Final Fantasy 14 is done through the dungeons. If you do the dungeons with friends, they go faster and they're a little bit more enjoyable because you've got banter while you're in there. But ultimately, it doesn't make a difference. That's the honest truth. If you play on Light Server Data Center and you play on any of the servers there, I'm on Odin personally, but any of the servers within the Light Data Center, I can actually join and help you out on stuff. That's not a problem. Obviously, for the release of Dawn Trail, we can't jump to different servers within light or chaos if you're on the European servers. So it will have to wait until they re-enable those. But ultimately, if you want to play solo, it actually is a really good game for solo gaming outside of the dungeons and the primal fights. And as long as you turn around and tell the people that this is your first time in the dungeon, in the primal fights, you'll find that everyone is very accommodating. Like, I haven't met a single prick in that game in 10 years. If you turn around and tell them that it's your first time, they actually, some of them even just outright start explaining, ask you if you want to know what mechanics for the bosses are and stuff. It's a very friendly community. But obviously, if you can play with a few friends, then like the dungeon grinding that stuff that you might want to do for specific gear, for glamour, or just to get better gear as you're playing along, uh, it might go a bit faster. Hope that answers your question. He never should have made that statement. 100%. Well, yes and no, but that statement he made. I mean, he literally dug his own grave. The big story is Xbox will soon beat the FTC. Who do they buy next to add to the Infinity Gauntlet? I'm going to say Take Two, but if not Valve, I don't think they'll buy Take Two. I don't think they'll buy Valve. Um, Honestly, it really depends going forward now if how hard they're going to push cloud. If they're really, really looking forward and saying that, right, we're all in for cloud, this is it, this is what we want, then they'll probably go and buy a. I mean, someone like Valve and Take Two is going to cost a lot of money. They want to buy smaller publishers that won't raise eyebrows, like Sega, in my opinion, which will probably cost them like what 2-3 billion. You know, it's not going to raise an eyebrow. It will go under the radar. Anything big is not going to work. The FTC and the CMA will be all over them all over again. But at this point, I think instead of doing, if they're going to go into for the cloud, that's the path that they're going to go into, and this is going to be really the key indicator of that. If they try to buy more publishers, then they are 100% in cloud gaming. Because in 10 years, 15 years' time, when consoles no longer exist and cloud gaming is going to be the infrastructure for gaming, for mainstream gaming, they want to have the best portfolio to turn around and say, right, I'm not releasing my games on any other cloud system. If you want to play all of these games, you come to my cloud system and sign up to my subscription model. And at that point, they can charge whatever they want because they'll be in a position where they can really, really cause some really, you know, anti-consumer friendly actions because they'll have a huge majority there. So that's the danger. Now, if they start doing what I think they should do, and that is money hatching third party exclusives over to Xbox and PC, or maybe Xbox first and then go to PC later to Steam. Make it on Game Pass first, but they won't have the balls to do that. At that point, I think they're just going to be looking to do those exclusive contracts, which will save them money. And then if they do that, they're not pushing cloud anymore. So that's going to be the real definitive thing to see. Once this whole case is over, if they go to buy another publisher, from that 100% they are all in on the cloud. 100%. That's the future that they want. That's where they're going, and they're putting all their eggs in that basket. If they're not buying a publisher and they're going to go aggressively with third-party studios, with third-party contracts, then that cloud is now going to be kind of like a side hustle for them, and not the main deal, not the main thing. It's going to just be a way for them to get extra revenue in from those places that don't have Xboxes, or for people that don't want to buy an Xbox but still want to play those games, so they sign up to Game Pass. That's my fault. Wait, I don't even know what this is related to. Should I even ask? Has it actually been released? I haven't seen a single thing about Palworld being released on PS5. I know that Bucky said with a number of different colored hearts, and he pretty much confirmed that it was coming. But has it actually come out on PlayStation 5? Appears to be coming to PS5, but Nintendo Switch is a different story. So this is what he basically put out. I want to add more hearts, but not sure what color would fit. How about uh, that's Steam, that's Xbox, that's iOS, Mac, and that's supposed to be PlayStation. Switch would be red. Clearly, it's not powerful enough to run it. It's obviously coming because I mean, it would have been there day one, honestly, if Sony allowed for early access games to be purchased. They don't allow it. You know, you want to play. Nope. And luckily, Taz can't release my Steam ID. So none of you suckers can get me none of those stupid games that you're sending Alex. I said no such thing. With all the remaster we're getting, I want a Billy. Oh, Billy Hatcher! I haven't heard that name in a long time. That would actually be quite fun. That would actually be quite fun. By Ubisoft, that would open up a can of worms, John Gray. Um, that would open too many issues, and they wouldn't get the cloud access back because that's set to a separate, kind of part of Ubisoft that's separate to everything else to do. So that wouldn't do anything. Microsoft have the money to buy Sony if they wanted, but that won't be allowed by regulators. Of course not. I hope they buy Sega personally. I love Persona, SMT, and Yakuza. Honestly, Microsoft and Sega have a really good relationship. Most of their games come Game Pass day one. As I know, Sega seems like the obvious choice, but they already have a really good relationship. Only a very few games don't actually make it to Game Pass, but they're all on Xbox anyway. They won't be skipping Xbox, so I think in that regard, it's touch and miss. But I guess to bolster the Game Pass catalog, it could work. Ventura, I can see Capcom as well as an option. Most definitely. Sonic will be fine. We have enough ports to sustain the character. Overcharge just leads to people going towards other hobbies. Gaming is already punishing me towards mountain biking and photography for my free time. I don't blame you. But can you imagine if Microsoft decided, for whatever reason, to leave the console market and just leave it down to Sony? I know a lot of people from camp, PlayStation actually want this to happen, but they really do not understand what the implications of such a thing would be and how catastrophic it would be to the gaming industry. The gaming industry would take such a beating if that were to happen. They don't understand what it is they want. It's crazy. If Stalker 2 does really good, let's hope they might want to do more third party deals. I mean, I think that's the point. Yeah. I think it also depends how many people it brings to Game Pass. That's going to be important. And how many, what the retention rate will be. Um, but it's really easy for Microsoft to double dip with these stuff, right? And you're seeing loads of companies doing it at the moment where they're saying, yeah, you can pre-order this, you can buy the game for this price, but if you pay a little bit extra, you get it 3 days early. And Microsoft's been doing this as well with a lot of their bigger titles that they're releasing. If you want to play Call of Duty 3 days early, pay $30 the Vault Edition or whatever it's called, and you can play it early, and so they get revenue through that means as well. My God, he is still crying about Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Stop it, man. All they teased was they added a blue heart for the title. Yeah, but that blue heart is generally PlayStation, right? And also, I've seen Bucky posting in PlayStation centric posts as well, where he's going in there and pretty much like putting yes emojis and smiling emojis and winking emojis. Well, not emojis, gifs as well. So he's pretty much confirming it's coming. So I don't think it's a bad thing. It was never supposed to be an exclusive for Xbox. It was just one of those, it just, the stars aligned and it worked. A bit like how Baldur's Gate 3 was exclusive for a certain amount of time because the Series S had problems with co-op. Dual screen. Obviously, Wukong is different because that was money hated. Chaos, I did that thing you needed me to do. Oh, thank you very much, dude. I appreciate it. $100 games the day Xbox pulls out, dude. I know people think that's a joke, but that's not a joke. When you don't have an option, when you don't have choices, and you give these companies free reign to do whatever the hell they want, they will do whatever the hell they want. This is why it's a really bad idea. All these, and I see so many people, I can't wait for the day for Xbox to die. And I'm like, you have to be the most moronic, stupid person to exist in the gaming universe to actually want something like this. No one should ever, like, no one should want Sony to die. Because at the end of the day, competition is good. It's what keeps things going. Do you think if Sony had the option to price their games at £100 today or £120, do you think they wouldn't take it? I mean, Ubisoft are already trying it with their new model, right? With their new pricing model. They're already trying to get people kind of used to that system. Do you think Sony wouldn't just flip the switch overnight and say, right, this is the new pricing model because gaming is too expensive? Of course they would. They're a business. They don't care about your feelings. No business does. Not Google, not Amazon, not Sony, not Microsoft. They're a business. They care about giving you trying to give you right now the best deal for your money because there's competition. And that's why they're not going crazy. But you remove competition, even the slightest bit of chance of a competition, and you screw yourself over. Didn't we see this during the PS3 days and the Xbox 360 when Sony decided, hey, we're going to charge you $700 for the PS3? And Microsoft was like, well, we're only going to charge you like $350 for the 360. How many people bought the PS3? Not many. And they learned the hard way. That's competition. If you provide better value, you get more custom. But a lot of people don't understand that, and it's scary that they don't understand that. If they buy Square, I want the Nintendo Mana Collection and Dragon Quest 1 to 10 to come to Xbox. Game Pass full speed. Man, that's been asked for so long, those games. I'm surprised. I mean, they're working through them now, I think, but it's mental. Gaming isn't the only way people have time to spend their free time. Sony and Microsoft need to realize there are other options out there besides gaming and tech. Well, obviously there is, but their focus is getting you behind a desk or behind a console or playing anywhere. I mean, have any of you heard of a app on the Meta Quest called Virtual Desktop? Has anyone heard of that? Genuine question. Minxy's making a dedicated server? Nice. Sega RPG Summit is live in a few minutes. If you want to watch it, I mean, we can try. You got a link you can post? We can try. I'll see how it runs. If it runs like shit, then obviously we're not going to be able to watch it. But we can put it on and see how it goes. Well, let me have a quick Google search. Sega RGG Summit. Wait, it's 2024. No. Are you sure? Damn, that's some good sales. So I've actually recently been introduced to Virtual Desktop. I know. The shame of it. The shame of it. There's actually a cool app that they've released on Quest 2. You can have two screens. On Quest 3, you can have three screens. But it's really cool because now I can actually have, like, the other day I was actually working with two screens on my VR for my work. I just plugged it into my laptop and got it all set up. And I just had two virtual screens there with the pass through. It actually works really well. Unfortunately, it's black and white pass through, which is kind of sad on the Quest 2. But on the Quest 3, it's color through. So let's go to here. Share this tab. I'm hoping this is going to work well. I'm hoping we can check it out. I found it. I think this will be a cool thing to check out. But I mean, even now, like, I kind of connect it through Wi-Fi to it connects to my PC through the software app on the PC, and it's called, because I've got it open at the moment, Virtual Desktop Streamer. If you've heard of it, it's an app. It's not the official one. It's a kind of homebrew one, but it works so much better than the official one, and it gives you more options. And yeah, that shit is crazy. I now can just sit on my couch and play all my PC games with a controller. It's awesome. I love it. I appreciate you. But I seriously, Taz, thanks for doing that for me because I had no chance of doing it. But yeah, in terms of improvements for the channel as well, this red background that you're seeing on screen right now is going to change. Oh no. Oh no, this is bad. I don't think we can watch it. Wait, I'm good again. I'm good again. We can watch it. But yeah, I'm going to be getting some cool emojis. We're going to have some videos at startups now for the videos. They're getting commissioned at the moment and for streams as well. Um, any other improvement that you would like to see outside of my internet being better? Because I know someone's going to say that and then it's going to trigger me a little bit, even though it's not your fault. I know you want to troll me and you're fully within your rights to troll me. Is there, what sort of improvements would you like to see on the channel? I mean, Harmon's an idiot. I mean, if you're talking console exclusives, no. If you're talking actual proper exclusives, Xbox hasn't had any for, well, since they went down date with PC. It really depends how you want to define the word exclusive. Themed costumes? More Harmon. No, not more Harmon. More waifus. That's going to be on my other channel. Yes, on my Chaos Prime ZYT. Joshua, if you're interested in waifu games, that is definitely the channel that you want to be on. Especially over at my Twitch on Mondays. Definitely something you want to be a part of. Is Force having to go? Remain Legend Force. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'll blame PlayStation for increasing prices of games since they are the market leader. I bet they manipulate it. They probably did manipulate it a little bit because they can. Taz, you only need your My Little Pony. No one needs it. Bags, that's not going to happen. And anyway, why do you want me to be a PlayStation channel? I thought you said my takes are bad. Then I'm just going to make bad PlayStation takes. Pole dancing, go away. So you want it to be a pony channel. I guess I could go to the farm and start recording some ponies there, real life ponies, and upload a video one day. Or maybe do like a vlog when I'm actually at the farm with some ponies. If that's what you're into. What do you mean themed costumes? That scares me. See, when I ask these questions, you guys come up with the worst possible answers. I'm trying to provide a better service, a better production value. For the sake of my hope for humanity, I truly hope Harmon is doing it for the hate baiting. Unfortunately, he's not. If you actually go to his Twitter profile, that dude's a disgusting person, a really really nasty person. He is, you know, he is really horrible. I'm surprised people even entertain his videos. Like genuinely, he is a really really nasty piece of work. Especially his take on, women. It's degrading, dehumanizing. Um, it's really out there. And the guy openly came out in one of his videos and said that one of the characters in what is that game? It's a Nintendo game. It's a Nintendo IP. You got three houses. Come on, someone must remember the name. You can even have kids in there to put in. It's a strategy RTS game. Someone must know the name. I always forget it. Fire Emblem. That's the one. There's a character in there that was at the time 14 years old, and he was simping for that 14-year-old character, and he openly admitted to it as well, saying that that's his girl, a 14-year-old game character. How the fuck does anyone even want to watch him after that? I don't know. It makes my skin crawl. And literally 99% of his takes are so shit. I mean, I've seen videos. I mean, they go up, Leaf Storm, to about 2-3K. There is nothing wrong with gacha games. Ventura, I'm actually, once I've got everything settled, so once I've got the video sorted, everything else sorted that I'm planning on for my channel, and rebranding the other two. So my Twitch channel, I'm rebranding tonight. So if you guys actually are following me over at Chaos Prime Gaming, over at my Twitch, it's going to change to Chaos Lounge streaming tonight. or at least something to that effect. And my other YouTube channel, either by the end of tonight or by the end of this weekend, is also going to be rebranded. It's going through a whole restructure at the moment, and I'm really gonna be pushing these really hard so I can tell my full-time job to fuck off, because I really hate working there now, especially after what transpired this week, which I'm not going to get into, but let's just say it's the most miserablest time I've ever had at work, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm going to be in a lot of investment, and hopefully that quality, that production value, that quality will pay through. But definitely, I'm looking to do Fridays as a members stream, and we can play whatever the hell you guys want. Whether it's me suffering through Elden Ring, which, trust me, is painful to even thinking about, or a Souls-like game, or just trying something that you guys want me to play, or even like a multiplayer game that we can all join in. So hopefully that's going to be something that I can get going very soon. But yeah, internet being the key problem. Yeah, it was Fire Emblem Three Houses that was the game. That was the actual game. I agree. Gacha games are made to take advantage of people and generally low quality. I actually don't agree with that. I don't agree with that for the most part. I mean, a lot of gacha games are made poorly, but if you look at the amount of work that goes into, say, something like Genshin Impact or Wuwa, where they've got constantly evolving worlds. You look at games like Honkai Star Rail, these are the big ones, right? Terra Fantasy is more of a smaller game compared to the rest, but that's the one I play. They, at times, feel way more polished than AAA games that come out for $70. And you don't have to spend in a lot of these gachas, like even in Genshin Impact, you don't have to spend to be able to clear 99% of the content at max quality, at max rewards. So it really depends on the gacha you're playing. All right, let's see what this is all about. So what is this all about outside of a Yakuza? Exactly, John. One thing I will say though, if you have no control over yourself when it comes to spending money, stay away from gacha games. Absolutely stay away from them. Do not go anywhere near them. Right? Don't even entertain them. You've got no sound? Sorry, one sec.
My
You should have sound now.
Okay. Because like comrades over there.
Wait, were you? Because
you've got sound now.
Birthday just happened not that long ago. Were you?
Yeah, I was there for that.
You were there for that?
Yeah. It was a party, right?
You met him?
I can't go into detail, but
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if
you still got no audio. Really?
Anymore. I don't even know anymore. But
Suzuki, I don't know. It's all good. But no, it had a
okay,
birthday,
good.
Right?
What did you guys eat?
I had tebasaki, which is fantastic.
Play Gollum and where Gollum. I've already played Gollum. Why do you want me to play it again? The game was painful. Even though it was better than Kong.
Well, but enough about chicken wings.
It definitely was better than Kong.
Chicken wings.
You like chicken wings that much?
But you know what I love more? Is a birthday video for Kiryu.
For those of you that don't know,
I saw it.
Yeah, we were kind of
the chat actually made me play through
you did a lot of work
Kong
when I was out,
and
right?
Gollum.
So, you want to take a look at it again?
Yeah,
it's a bit quiet.
Yeah.
It's all set to maximum, isn't it? Everything is set to maximum, dude.
まだ喉元に残る I love you 虚しい夜に手酌で一人飲む酒は夜ほどに悲しくてうまくも
That made you?
ことずっと分かっていたのに
But
バカだろ
we have the whole you know, if you gift 5 subs, I wear a pirate hat, eye patch with pirate locks for like 15-20 minutes. So I've introduced that as well for 5 gifted subs. I'm still trying to find an AI voice changer that actually works to change my voice properly to someone else, like Jack Sparrow or something, but that's proving almost impossible to find. But yeah. Pretty much, John. So yeah, last stream, if you go and check out the VOD, someone dropped 5 gifted subs and
Oh man.
I became the laughing stock of everyone. Everyone kind of had a good laugh posting it in my Discord as well.
You know,
I got my.
oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Just want me to water up even more.
If you can find something that
cool.
actually
That was a
changes
lockdown
the
memory
voice
lane.
to
Yeah,
Lara
that's
Croft,
a
That gave me the feel.
send it to
People
me.
were on the chat saying
I can't find
on
anything
social
that
media,
actually
"Oh, this video is, like,
works.
super emotional.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
super
you got
sad."
like
I'm
the
but no,
squeaky
it's his birthday,
stuff
bro.
and
Stuff like that,
you know,
know,
the
it's
silly
all
stuff that they
people's
change it to.
Celebration of his
But
life.
But anything
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't find.
But that was
I've
really
been
great. I
searching
always
for
like to bring
weeks.
these to
Can't find
everyone for
anything.
the birthday of our kind of lead characters. And
I mean, people want
So-
Jack Sparrow kind of
yeah,
voice
so
acting,
that
but
was obviously a
I
big
can't
event,
find
but
anything.
what's kind of happening now, I guess, is the question.
Well, summer's here.
Summer sale. Oh, yeah, it's the Steam summer sale happening, I believe, right now.
Yes.
Right?
yeah.
From June 27th until July 11th, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have not picked up one of the Yakuza or Like a Dragon games that you are looking to build out your catalog, now is your chance to do so. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or Like a Dragon Gaiden.
how long is
or
this, by the way?
Yakuza Kiwami, or Zero.
For those interested in
or
watching
2,
this?
Or Remaster 3, 4, 5, or 6, or Ishin, or YLAD, Yakuza Like a Dragon, or YLAD. Yeah, it's all of them.
Yeah.
So make sure you go buy all of them right now if you haven't already. And then, yeah.
I think we had some other stuff that we announced when you were out too. Little thing.
No
called
clue?
TikTok. I think we are on it officially now.
I TikTok
You
sometimes.
TikTok sometimes?
I TikTok.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, I've been on to TikTok here and there, dabble in the TikTok.
Don't ever say that again.
4 hours.
Quite a
I'm
dancer.
not gonna be here for 4 hours. You crazy?
Yeah, you launched TikTok.
You
Congratulations.
did. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Not that
We're
crazy.
excited to share some cool stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you please go follow it's RGG Studio West on TikTok. So
I was
you can
gonna
go check it
say.
out. We'll be adding all this cool content. We'll be
Yeah.
adding
I
way
mean, there's
more,
not
and
that much they
if
could talk
we're
about
going to
regarding
events that we're going to be discussing in a bit.
Oh,
Yakuza.
Anime Expo?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be there. So if you're going to Anime Expo this year, starting on July 4th, actually, which, yeah, is coming up pretty soon.
What can people expect?
Carlos and I are going to be there for basically most of the event.
Don't forget.
If you cosplay, come
Yes.
find this guy. He might take a picture of you if you're open to it, and maybe post on our social media. Maybe
okay.
TikTok.
Maybe some
Yeah,
TikTok
Edward,
stuff.
I've
there.
tried
So,
for
find
weeks
us,
to
we're
find
happy to
stuff.
talk
I
to
can't
everybody who's
find
attending.
anything.
But most importantly, on July 6th, we're throwing our event, right? And so Essence of Fandom, Like a Dragon, and Yakuza Experience is going to be quite...
Sold out, by the way.
It is sold out. Yes,
Sold
that,
out
we were
completely.
blown away
Sold
with
out
the
already.
response to that. So you guys,
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
really,
Yeah.
thank you so much. We want to make sure we got the fans in there, which is why we had tickets on sale. We of course have to limit it to some extent too, but we really want to make sure that the fans are able to come. Which is the reason for that. But we were so impressed with the response and how quickly they sold out too. And so, you never know, we might go bigger and better next year. But for this year, first of all, let's have a good time at the
I
event.
mean, it just seems
We've got a lot going on at
City
the event
chatting.
too. We've got discussion with Nakaya-san, who plays Kira Nishikiyama, and Ichiban Kasuga. Have you heard of? Yes, in Japanese. And we also have Sakamoto-san, who is the chief producer.
Okay, what else do you
for
have?
the Like a Dragon series.
Because this doesn't seem
He
entertaining.
was actually at M-Expo last year, too.
Yes.
Yeah. We also have several other guests, like Crystal.
Yes.
Who will be cosplaying as well and joining us for another activity. We have.
I don't know. Someone told me to put it on,
Karishiya,
and I'm
wrestler, but also cosplayer and fantastic.
I'm
person
having
in general,
regrets.
Who's supposed to be joining us too. We
excited.
also have Sungwon Cho. Great YouTuber too, known as ProZD.
They're just going through at the
we
moment
have
what they're
Vandy
actually going to be
Bitney,
showing, but it
too,
doesn't
who's
look
gonna
like it's
be our
anything
MC,
interesting.
Master
So
of ceremonies, doing
I
some
think
awesome cosplay. As
we will
photo
potentially
ops.
jump
It's gonna be so
off.
much fun. Great opportunity for all the fans to come together. Maybe learn how to play mahjong. We have some great volunteers coming to help us out with that.
That'd be cool.
So all you fans who kind
Would
of
you
stand
now?
at me about having no idea how to play mahjong, we're hopefully going to teach you how to play at this event.
It's a shame I don't have a
So
twin.
again, and look forward to. We'll be covering this on social, of course, too, for those of you who cannot join. But we'll also be kind of wrapping it up with some videos post-event, also including it in our follow-up RGG roundup too. So yeah, lots to look forward to.
Yeah, make sure if you see our camera crew, if you want to get kindly, be interviewed for
Right.
experience, please, participate. We'd love to hear your guys'
Yeah.
feedback on what you like,
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
you want to see more. We're always happy to hear about that stuff. But there was some other news too that we announced during that time.
Yes, it's the Like a Dragon Yakuza Amazon Prime Video
Exciting
series.
stuff.
Yeah,
By the way,
super
I have a
exciting.
question,
So
chat.
that was all.
Let me reduce the volume on this a
tremendous
little bit,
response from the community
because
and
this is
abroad.
actually a
Beyond
big
that,
question
really, it just
that I.
blew us
Oh,
away.
here you
So
go, the
we
Prime
are
TV
so
series.
Excited to bring that to y'all on
28th.
October 24th. So look forward to that. We cannot really tell you much more than that at this point in time. But
Okay, so they're not going to
look
really go
forward to
into
it. It's gonna be
anything.
great,
So
and
I think we
cannot,
should
wait to watch it all together.
move on from this. But I have a
And
really,
you have this also
really
fantastic key image that came
good
out too,
question.
so-
It's really cool. I love.
Right?
I feel like.
Let me reduce the volume on this a little bit.
Yeah, there's the details, right?
I'm gonna, after this little.
Well, actually-
after
You can
we're
draw it in.
streaming, I'm gonna draw it in.
Okay.
Some crayons.
Night, John.
I'm going to stop him from doing that actually, but
You
it's
should,
all
you
good.
should.
So
Here's
that's
a
that.
question
Those
for
are
you
the
all.
kind of updates for what's
Right.
new. While I've
Big
been
question.
a little bit and while we haven't been talking to y'all.
Considering
So,
Sony
so
counts
super exciting stuff.
the
Hopefully,
PlayStation 5 as a
stick around
console,
while we dive into some
the PS Portal as a console,
What gameplay?
the PSVR 2
Yakuza Kiwami
as a
and
console.
what do you mean in English?
Does this mean Microsoft now can count the Amazon Fire Sticks as a console?
I mean, it's extreme.
Now that
It's,
Game Pass is going to
it
be
is
on
extreme
there?
in every other way, and so like it is again a remaster.
Not
remake
Amazon,
of
not the
game.
TVs, but
And it has,
since the Fire
features
Stick
and
is now
graphics,
technically part of
frame rates,
the
everything.
ecosystem, can they count the Fire Stick as a console? Just like Sony does with their
There's
accessories.
also a mechanic called
Ugh.
Majima Everywhere Jump Scare joining us too that we might encounter throughout our little playthrough today. So let's look into it though.
Cool.
Sounds
That's
good.
it. Awesome.
So of course in Yakuza like
I know.
there's
That's
multiple
the point.
activities, right? And this is just one of them. What else can you do?
You could do Coliseum. You could do pocket racing.
Coliseum, pocket racing,
You could do also some karaoke.
karaoke.
Bowling.
I don't know if you pronounce it that way, but yes.
I don't think I've watched even season 3 of The Boys yet.
Let's see.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna aim high, just see if I can.
Yeah, so does this mean that we can now count,
Run before
you know,
I stop watching the stream.
Oh. You have to hit it.
Oh,
at
I
the home
hit
run.
it. Over? How is that not a home run? That's like a grand slam.
I'm actually quite curious. I mean, technically they should, right?
I think even the pitcher's starting to be like,
It's
this
like,
guy
dude, come on.
Come on, man.
I mean, Sony counts the PS
God, I'm
Portal
pulling
as a
it now.
console, as a PS5 console.
This is
I don't
great.
think this is working out.
I'll get turned into a meme. You
Right.
Just yanking it
So
off third base
if
line.
it's, I'm
Home runs are
I'm saying
left
it
field
can't be
home
one
runs.
rule for them and
That
one
is
rule for someone else, right?
At the-
Center field home runs.
Oh. there
Yo!
you go, you got it.
Sorry for yelling, Mike.
I don't know.
For
I don't know.
one
It's
home run
a
in
good
25
question.
attempts.
Oh,
Oof.
almost.
We're gonna get that second tissue, Carlos.
Can't wait.
It's a good question. By the way, did you hear how much Kai Cenat made during his Elden Ring run,
Sorry.
It's okay. It's
Sorry,
okay.
including his 60-hour run for the final boss?
I believe that was in my heart. That was a home run.
That was a home run. It was over.
Yeah.
the backstab. Let's go. What?
You have to hit each individual one.
It went in between.
No, you already hit the middle one. You have to hit the.
Let's go.
$450,000.
Practice makes perfect.
That's
9 more tries.
kind of crazy.
Number 9, my uniform number. Oof. Am I hitting it too
Yeah,
high?
8 more. I believe you.
No, you don't. Stop.
Steven, do you actually want me to smash my head against the wall that much?
You're
I'm
psyching me
sorry.
out.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys want it, I'll do it during
This is one of the beautiful things about.
I'll do it during one of
series,
those
you can just play
member streams I'm planning.
these games for hours.
It can't be
and
worse than
great.
fucking
Did I progress the story?
Gollum and what is it?
Progress the story about how Carlos makes fun of me playing.
It can't be worse than Gollum and I can't even remember the other game. Kong.
See if I can-
It can't be worse.
Nope. Still can't hit the curveball.
Grifter's saying Xbox is done after the Amazon deal. Why? There's literally nothing there to say. I mean, it,
No, just to keep it out the middle.
dude.
more
They're
chances.
stupid. I mean,
I believe you got this.
I'm surprised it's not on every TV. When it got announced for Samsung TV only,
Two more.
the first thing I said was, "Why is this only available on Samsung TV and not available everywhere else?"
Yeah!
It makes no sense.
Oh,
Like,
no.
it doesn't make any sense. It should have been available everywhere. If you're going to do something like this exclusivity crap that
Not bad,
Microsoft
I
does
think.
with
Yeah.
stuff like this, or like the memory card that you plug behind your console that inflates the price because only one company has it, and that's what happens when you don't have competition. That's the problems that you're having with that sort of thing. Just put it everywhere. If that's your goal, put it everywhere. On LG, on Samsung, on Amazon, wherever you want to put it, just put it everywhere.
Some guys along the way, though.
Hopefully, yeah.
Let's
Don't
enjoy some of the
half-ass
fights
it.
on Kamurocho.
Go balls
This is
deep.
The red light district, right, in
Yes.
Japan.
It's a little bit more compacted.
I was not stuck on Lies of P. I beat that boss and you all saw it on the stream.
Even though it's a smaller map,
I just didn't know where the hell I was going because I haven't played it in such a long time.
and places to go.
I genuinely didn't know. But
Punch.
JJ Cyan, thank you very much for that 1999 super chat. I appreciate you.
Grab or drag
or throw.
or see the you see
Or hit with a bicycle.
This dude right here.
This
look.
guy is
He's
looking
gonna cause
forward.
ruckus. Look, he's trying to. Hey man, we work with the ladies, bro. Come on.
No, he doesn't want to fight.
They released a video about Concord.
I don't know what she's doing over there. She should go do her homework.
Yeah, we should do it right here in the light.
Yeah, somehow I don't think they're going to release it on. Actually, being Microsoft, I can see them releasing it on Bravia TVs. In fact, I'm surprised they didn't release it on there first with the way they are.
Walking down the street, it just looks and feels just like this. Well, look at that Conco's a walk. Yes. Who are you, indeed?
I did beat the big tall guy. It's dead.
This guy's the.
Don't even lie about that shit.
I'm on
Okay.
piece of my mind, bro.
All right, let's see. What do you got? You got some brawler? You should do some beasts. So there's four styles.
Yeah, if there's one
Oh,
thing
I'm
that
gonna get
Sony
ya.
done right with the PS5 is using the M2 drives for the hard drive. That's probably the
He really is everywhere.
one of the
Watching you fight.
best things they've done with their PS5 console that I wish Xbox did as well.
Beast mode. There we
Just
go.
making it easy
Stand him
to
up, just
change
stand him
No,
up.
and install.
I was being a gentleman, you know. There
You want
go.
a fair
Alright,
fight.
cool. Yeah, because I
Oh, there we go. With the nunchaku bat. Okay, rush mode. I don't know. He's pretty quick.
It's not bad for
Throw it up
Xbox.
real quick here.
I'm getting a lot of people tagging me at the moment
Part of the game.
Right.
So this was added from the original.
because of
Yakuza,
this.
Not part of the original Yakuza. So this was one of the things they added to.
That
Keystone.
presentation with Roundup is useless. Is because of this. This is why people are riled up about it. When you've got the primary platform coming out and saying you don't need an Xbox to play gaming, Xbox games, it sends a negative image out there. My son beat him. Yeah, right. This is why. And we went through this earlier on the stream. They just need to word this better. There's so many ways they can word this better. And it would have, none of this would have been a problem. No one would have had anything to say. But being Xbox being Xbox, they keep pushing this no console, no problem motto. Yeah, Invictus is right. That's it. No, but it's telling me instead of it's basically telling me don't bother with the console. Come to cloud gaming instead. That's the message I receive. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from saying Xbox is expanding their reach to more platforms to offer a you know greater accessibility for everyone. Partnering with Amazon to put it onto the Fire, cloud gaming to on the Fire Stick. You don't need to mention no console. You're already saying that it's going to be on the Fire Stick. You don't need to say that there's no console, no problem. It devalues the console, and I personally think people have a right to get annoyed at that. But that's just me. Everyone is different, and that's fine. I appreciate everyone's opinion, but that's my opinion. It devalues the console. What is Taz saying? Next stream on YouTube, I'm going to be showing Chaos's IDs. Look, you don't need to do that, Taz. I'm just saying, you don't need to do that. Didn't they? Did this? Yeah, they did. They did. And they were laughed at, they were mocked, they were jeered, they were taken the piss out of. The bad PR that you got from it was crazy. They were, mocked by all the media publications for this whole no console, no problem when they did it for Samsung, and they're back doing it again, which means that they just don't learn. I thought when they got rid of that marketing dude because he pretty much wasn't doing a great job, they would have learned from it. But nope, 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 they don't. He's an Nintendo fanboy. He just leans Sony way more than Xbox. I don't see why people dislike Game Pass. I don't see any reason to dislike Game Pass. I have several Fire Sticks, and there isn't an Xbox app yet. When's it supposed to be available? Soon, I think. Let's have a look. In July, it's supposed to be the Fire Stick 4K Max and the 4K. That will only get so anything that's not 4K will not get it. The lights versions will get it later, but it should be available now. Yeah, it's available now. And it's going to be available on select Amazon Fire TV devices alongside the acclaimed Fallout TV Prime show, which released in April. Once downloaded, the Xbox app is designed to offer a smooth and seamless experience. Here's how it works. You install it and start playing. Connect a Bluetooth-enabled wireless controller, Xbox adaptive controller, PlayStation DualSense or DualShock 4. So it should be available now. But only on the 4K Fire Sticks, not anything below it. Yeah, only certain sticks, not all. Probably it's just the 4K ones. Yeah. I don't know how actual human beings look at all the options Xbox are giving and think, well, they're telling me to buy a PS5, Switch. No, they're telling you can play however you want. Well, look, this is the thing. The reason why people are okay, I'll put this in as simple terms as possible. The fear is if you pull people away from the console enough, third-party publishers will not be interested in making games for the console. And a conversation I've already had with Steve multiple times regarding the people wanting Steam on Xbox. That will pretty much kill Xbox's store entirely. The moment that happens, Xbox generally just becomes a PC. And then they have every game and it doesn't really matter at that point. The whole discussion ends, period. But the fear is that if you have everything being pushed to the cloud and the message being you don't need an Xbox console, which then gives out that message that, hurts the public image of buying a console. If enough people don't buy the console, third-party publishers look at your console and say, right, is it worth me releasing this game, this AA game on your platform? Is there really a market there for it? Because there isn't enough consoles sold. Because all they care about is console sold. Now, as Fantas Archer asked that question earlier today, what if you buy a game on Xbox, it becomes available on the cloud instantly? It enables on the cloud. That would change everything. Like, that would change the conception entirely. If Microsoft could pull that off, they win instantly, and every game under the sun will be on Xbox. Because they will have one of the biggest gaming markets in the world. Period. But that's not the case yet. So at the moment, if you're a third-party publisher or a studio, you are looking at the number of consoles sold. And then you factor in a percentage of that is going to buy your game. Usually around 5-10%. And then you have to factor if that 5-10% is worthwhile to cover the costs of your game and make you a bit of profit and potentially work on more content. If the answer is no, then they skip your platform. And the smaller your market share becomes, the more platforms are going to skip your console. If you're an Xbox-only gamer and you don't play on PC, you don't play on the cloud, this is a problem for you. If you're an Omni gamer that has a PlayStation, an Xbox, a Switch, a PC, then this absolutely doesn't matter to you. Because if it's not available on Xbox, you'll go to the next platform that can play it for you. It's not a problem. But if it goes down that route and the market diminishes, third-party publishers potentially can skip your console. And if you are only buying Xbox as a brand, then it becomes an issue because the games you want to play now are no longer releasing on that console that you prefer to play games on. At that point, if you can only afford one console, chances are you may be selling your console to buy another console so you can play the games that you want to play. And Xbox loses another customer. This is why it's a problem. It's not that cloud gaming is this thing and it's going to Amazon, it's going to Google, it's going here, it's going there. That doesn't matter. But they still need to give publishers a reason to release a game on the console. And you don't do that by turning around and saying, hey guys, you don't need a console to play my games. That sends the opposite image, the opposite message out to people. And that's why it's a problem. You know what? I usually wait a little bit, but let's see what the Dreamcast guy is saying. If he has anything. I'm going to break my own policy this time. Because this will probably be the last video I do. Okay, so he's saying that Concord is a huge fail. He's got a Dr. Disrespect video. Classic Trilogy is back. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. Now, he's just got a Concord video. Woodpit, the moment they do that, the Xbox store ceases to exist. Unfortunately, that's the truth of it. Right? The moment you put Steam on Xbox, it becomes a PC. Because a publisher is not going to release a game on Xbox natively when all they need to do is release it on Steam, create a profile for that game on PC that matches the Xbox hardware, and release it on the Xbox. I also believe that the next console that's coming in 2026, you're not going to have an S. You're just going to have one console. I don't see them releasing a S again, honestly. That's my opinion. I don't know. Do you guys want to watch this video before we call it a day? It'll be the final one. It's 9 minutes long. I don't normally watch videos this early, but we can react to it if you want. Aren't Xbox and PS5 essentially budget PCs? Yes and no. Xbox runs on DirectX 12U, but PS5 doesn't. It runs on a language called BSM, so it's a little more difficult to port games from PC to PS5, which is why they do it the other way around. They build it, go from PS5 to PC, because that's the target console. But with Xbox, it's easier because it essentially is a budget PC. All right. Just this once, I'm going to watch a video ahead of its time.
Was it?
All right. Let's make sure this is all good. All right. Let's check it out. And what can I do with this? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go up. Let's record it. Why not? All right. Let's go.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here, and today we're talking about the next big PS5 exclusive, which is called Concord, because it is coming out
Next big exclusive? Big? Okay.
relatively soon, and it sounds like it might be a broken mess with bad class balancing, unfun gameplay, extremely slow combat. Just in general, I think this is about to be a very expensive Sony L. And I want to talk about it because I must admit, I am fascinated by the fact that PlayStation is putting so many billions of dollars into this. But let's talk about it.
Keep in mind, they cancelled Factions and they cancelled Spider-Man Online for this. They don't have Factions 2 or Spider-Man Online for this.
Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let me start off by explaining what Concord is. So this is a game that's made by a studio called Firewalk. Now the rumor is that apparently they've been working on this for years and years and years, and somehow Sony saw this while it was in development and said it was so incredible they bought the entire studio. They actually purchased Firewalk to keep this as a PlayStation exclusive. Now Sony has said they're really wanting to make more live service projects, stuff that isn't just one upfront cost, because, you know, as much as I'm completely obsessed with stuff like Spider-Man or freaking Uncharted or, you know, all sorts of stuff that Sony has been doing and doing very well, I mean, I think we can all admit that when it comes to PlayStation stuff, a lot of times because they are single-player experiences that are very narrative-focused, you beat it, you love it, you finish it, you platinum it, and then you put it down.
I mean, I'm not sure about the platinum bit, but the rest's fine.
Sony wants to have more stuff where they can have seasons and battle passes and microtransactions, you know, long-term money printers, and that's clearly what Concord is supposed to be. So here coming up in 2 weeks, we're about to get a closed beta where you can actually try it. And I am going to be playing it and doing a video myself, but I was also curious because today the first previews have begun to come out. A lot of major websites across the world were allowed to sit down and play a couple hours of the game itself, and they said that it's actually shockingly unbalanced, which I must admit is the weirdest part. This is a hero shooter. It's a game that
Oh wow, a shockingly unbalanced hero shooter. Who would have thought that a hero shooter is going to be unbalanced?
actually has specific classes that have particular abilities that let you have extra defense or offense or movement or support. So the full game is going to have
I don't think he's played a hero shooter before. There's always, in hero shooters, there's always a character that everyone wants. I mean, Overwatch has Mercy. If you have a team without Mercy, it's pretty much no team at all.
16 heroes, 12 maps, and 6 modes.
No one
It's
knows,
going to have
Julia.
a bunch of different seasons of content, and it sounds like the seasons will be free. Just by buying the game costs $40. You can play it forever. It has a lot of different modes that are both single life and respawn. They did say that some of the stuff is like capture the flag style stuff or hold the point, sort of King of the Hill. They did say that one of the modes that people were saying is the most fun is like what is that? In Call of Duty, kill confirmed, where you kill somebody and they drop like a little, dog tag and you pick it up for a point. Apparently they have a mode like that, which is pretty decent. But the biggest problem is the fact that the lack of actual tuning. So apparently the movement itself feels very floaty, says something like Destiny or Halo. And
I mean, the developers for this game came from Bungie. They made Destiny and Halo. They're a one-trick pony. What do you expect? Pun intended, totally. But they are a one-trick pony, and that is literally all they know. So what were people expecting when it came to the gameplay? Were they expecting something different coming from a studio that is primarily made of Bungie ex-employees? I don't get it. You literally get what you pay for.
we're going to take a look at some gameplay here in a minute. Most of the characters have a double jump. Some characters have a triple
Anime, you're
jump
back.
or a dodge. Heroes
got
have
something
two
for you.
abilities and a passive skill, but no ultimates. Okay, I actually kind of like that. I think it's cooler when
No, ultimates seem weird. It's a hero shooter. That's the whole, that's your oh shit button. How can you have a hero shooter without an ultimate?
a lot of times when your character feels very built to kill, very built and ready to go, and you're not waiting for like a particular power up. Each free gunner has a unique weapon and a health pool. Before a match, you have to select from a small crew of heroes to choose from, and you can only swap to those during the game. Oh, interesting. So instead of just making it so you start with like one particular person, you can swap to anybody, you make a couple different selections at once. Each hero can be selected once per team, but there's no role limit. Yeah, so this is one of the complaints I've heard, which is that, in something like Overwatch or something like that, there is a balancing to it automatically where you can't just have all healers, you can't just have all tanks, you can't just have a bunch of people that are going to block and make it not very fun. This doesn't have that. You can be any balancing of killers and healers and whatever, and I've heard that actually very much breaks it.
That's crazy. That's actually really big, right? Because if you have no role limit, there is no way you can balance this. Like if you go into Destiny 2 PvP as 5 Titans and a Hunter, and you put your Ward of Dawn down, and you've got enough of them down, within each other, and you can just run around. The Hunter run around inside, pops their golden gun, shoots everyone, gets 3 kills, and then picks up all the orb powers to get their super back up again real fast. There's nothing you can do to counter that. Like, nothing at all. There is literally nothing you can do. And if you're going down that route by having no role limits whatsoever, especially in a hero shooter, where you can go full tanks, and if they can actually do good damage as well, yeah, that's yikes, man. That is yikes. That is really yikes. I know it does, Taz, because at the moment you can't actually defend against it. If you go in somewhere and you see that, it's GG. The game is done. You're not going to win. It's 100%. There's no way to balance that. And it's the same way as this. Like, this is a recipe for disaster. Like, why would anyone do this? Like, anyone... I mean, to be fair, it's Destiny and Halo creators. They worked a number of years on Halo and then spent the rest of their lives working on Destiny, completely and utterly unbalancing that game to no end. So I can't say I'm surprised.
Since some of this balancing is so bad, apparently you can just all play the most busted, overpowered characters and break it. Or sometimes if you get stuck as a weaker character, you're just not going to have fun. Like, sorry, man, everybody picked all the good characters. You got to be the crappy, weak character with no health and no aiming abilities. It has Destiny shooting with slightly slower movement and around double the time to kill of Call of Duty. Ugh. Weekly story vignettes.
So to make matters worse, I get, by Call of Duty, I assume they're talking about normal mode, not hardcore, which is like one tap. But if it's double the time to kill of Call of Duty, not only have they made the movement slower, but they've made the time to kill even slower. These are red flags, man. And weekly story, yeah.
So, this is one of the ones that actually shocked me the most. This was actually the main inspiration. So this is Stella. She works at IGN, and she does a lot of FPS coverage. She does all sorts of stuff where she has competed and played on stuff and done spectating and done... She's the kind of person that doesn't just play a lot of esports, but she covers it with a very critical eye. So, even if you disagree with her opinion, I think she comes up with a lot of very good, very detailed points about how stuff is actually working.
Let's just go back a thing. My hands-on preview for Concord is live. I'm critical of FPS games because I want to see them succeed, but often see balancing issues that make or break them. With previews, my goal is to provide constructive feedback and evidence with what works doesn't. I got to play Concord early, and I've been working on a really in-depth preview for us, and this is the longest preview video I've made. Okay, so basically nothing.
And one of the things she brings up in her IGN video here, you can see the entire comment section is like, bro, this game is going to bomb. This game has no freaking way. It's going to have no longevity. It's not going to have any actual legs to it. But here's the part I thought was the most interesting, is she talked about the fact that because the character balancing is so terrible, certain people are way better at just general action. If you don't get particular characters, you can't play. She said this character here has a homing rocket launcher that does 43 direct damage and splash damage to everybody around it, which means that in general, you could just wipe out entire chunks of team. She also made it a point to say that this game is so focused on kills, of team kills. Look at that, a double kill there. Because this game is so laser focused on team play and team kills, playing by yourself is pretty much impossible. So. You know when you're playing a game like Call of Duty or Valorant or something, and if you're good enough, you can wipe out the enemy team.
Really think so.
At the very least, you can get 1 or 2 or 3 kills and you feel like a badass. Apparently in this, that's impossible. It is built from the ground up for team play only. So if you actually try and just play good, that's not enough. It is a game where you have to move as a group, attack as a group, use special abilities as a group, or it's downright unplayable. Look how slow that...
Man, that aiming was bad. Not as bad. I mean, obviously I'm not that bad. But it just feels slow, sluggish, and this doesn't look fun at all. But the worst part of this is that I'm not seeing a difference between the PvP in this and Destiny 2. You can clearly see that they took the bones of Destiny 2's PvP and just reskinned it into a 5v5 instead of a 6 versus 6. That's crazy.
That time to kill is.
Marvel
my God, that looks going so bad.
This.
That guy walked away while getting shot by 2 players. Oh yeah, look at this dodge. Every time you dodge, it goes to this third-person view, which Destiny does as well, but apparently there's this slight delay to it, so when you try and dodge, a lot of times it just straight up does not actually activate instantaneously. I must admit that I am now morbidly curious about this, because it's clear that this is the kind of stuff that PlayStation does want. They're going to keep making stuff like Spider-Man 3 and Wolverine and another Ratchet and Clank, and hopefully...
I mean, I've heard some really bad things about Wolverine as well, so God knows what's going on with that one. From the game being completely rebooted, people not being happy with what they've seen, the game being in a bad state, them considering actually redoing Wolverine again for the second time. I'm not hearing good things about Wolverine at all. But this doesn't give me any vibe that it is going to remotely be successful. And the gameplay that we saw from IGN just there, the short gameplay, it looks awful.
There's rumors of like a new Uncharted being made and stuff, but I do think that it's pretty clear that this is what PlayStation wants on the back burner. They want to have a way to keep having their fan base log in and play stuff and keep buying microtransactions. Now,
well, I mean, that's the key, right? If you've got a really healthy MAU, you want to monetize that MAU as soon as possible so you can try and, get as much money as you can. That's the whole purpose of having a really high MAU. That's it. Microtransactions, at least for now. Later on, it will probably be for cloud gaming, for people to be in your ecosystem, stuck in your ecosystem, and moving forward with that.
Now, they have released statements that apparently all the microtransactions, every character is unlocked, everything. Microtransactions are purely for cosmetic, but I'm at the point where that to me no longer feels like a W. Like, okay, I'm glad you're not scamming us as hard, but I don't know. This just seems like, honestly, this just seems terrible. And I'm so curious to play it for myself. Maybe it will win me over, but...
And I think this is the worst part, right? Sony, if you pre-order the game, doesn't offer refunds. They don't. Trust me, I've tried. And if you have managed, do let me know how you managed to do it, because I couldn't cancel pre-orders for games I played that were trash. But they are paywalling this. I know others do it as well, but for a game like this that's new, you want as many hands on this game as possible to give it a try. And even if 15-20% of them turn around and say, yeah, I like it, I'm going to get this day one, that's a win. But putting it behind a paywall, a game that's not really proven itself, you're asking for trouble. A lot of it. And that's going to impact numbers on day one.
But man, the more we see of it, the more it just seems like this is going to be such an expensive failure for PlayStation. And I think everybody knows that already. But what do you guys think about this? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. By the way, if you pre-order the beta, you actually get 5 beta codes. I'm probably going to pre-order it so I can...
Interesting. I guess that's how they're doing it. They're making all the content creators pre-order it so they can give away 4 of the codes to their community. That's the only way they're going to get people to try it out. My God, they're still trying to nickel and dime their community. That's bad, man. They're like, hey, you're a content creator? Yeah. Take this, sucker. My God.
I can do a video on the beta and review it and stuff like that. Maybe we'll try and get a team.
Hey, this one I actually do believe he'll actually be playing himself and doing the review of the beta because, he's actually paying money for it. Unlike the other ones where I don't know where he's getting the footage from.
Like this video, maybe I'll...
That's it. I mean, Concord looks awful. It didn't look fun. It didn't look anything remote. And the fact that they are leaning into the Destiny PvP, which is really bad at the moment. I don't have high hopes for this. I don't. And based on the information that we saw, I think it was over here. This just, this third point here just is no. And this one over here, just absolutely not. This one over here, even worse. And this one, if you're wondering what this is, you probably get you'll go through a weekly set of challenges that you need to do. And then they'll give you 30 seconds of dialogue for the story and say, right, come back next week and do it all over again. Exactly the same thing, and you're golden. And I'm like, nah, that's what put me off Destiny. This game is going to flop. That's all I'm saying. But you know what? You let me know what you think in the conversation below, and we can have that discussion. All right, that recording is done. I'll probably post that in a few days. But yeah, this is awful. This is awful. I mean, the devs are the ones that actually wanted to make this. This is going to be another Suicide Squad. I mean, I still don't understand how a robot can be a day dem. Like, how does a robot have pronouns? I don't get it. Not that I'm against pronouns. Do what the hell you like. Call yourself what you want, but a robot? You know? Wolverine will be a good game. Insomniac is too good of a studio. I mean, I don't hope. Let's see how. I mean, I don't care if it's a good game or not. I'm probably going to play it. But if it's a good game, it'll be a good game. Insomniac has done really good stuff, so I don't want to shit on Insomniac for the sake of shitting on them. They've been good for what they've done. I'm a little cheesed off with Sony for turning around and saying no to Sunset Overdrive. That's a blow. You know, they'd rather not see it exist anymore than have it made for Xbox as well. Which, you know, considering how, you know, the number of games that Microsoft is pushing over, including Doom, you'd think at the end of the day that they would at least do Sunset Overdrive. But no, not even that. But you know what, chat? Tazmon, whatever. No, I'm not going to get into this. It's too late for this. It's too late. But chat, that's going to be it for tonight. I appreciate everyone that stuck around, especially through the internet troubles that I had. Hopefully I won't have that tomorrow when I'm playing Dawn Trail. And for those of you that want to... Oh, actually, Anime, you're still here. Anime, you better still be here. You told me, before I finished my sentence about signing off, you told me it's not available for Xbox. Kapow! Physical edition, Phantom Berserker. You are mistaken. You said it's not available on Xbox? It's not coming to Xbox? It absolutely is coming to Xbox. You know what else is coming to Xbox? Kapow! Bleach, Brave Souls. It's coming to Xbox. There you go. There's 2 games for you. Now you know that they're coming to Xbox. See? You wanted to play this one, right? This was literally your dreams of the game coming. See? Battleground Ultimate first gameplay trailer coming to PS4, PS5, Series SX, Switch, and PC, but not Xbox One. And if you go play, we're going to mute this for... Actually, there's no point in muting it. See? This is what you wanted, right? This is what you absolutely wanted, right? Anime. But yeah, Bleach is coming as well. I think this is a 8 or 16 player battle. Oddly enough, it actually looks quite fun. But anyway, this is one for you, Anime. I knew you would be here at some point. So I saved these just for you. It is on Xbox. Where's the Batman game? How's it going to tell us? But yeah, chat, that's it. This is the end of the stream. Thank you for everyone who stuck around. If you're going to be around tomorrow, I am going to be streaming really early tomorrow from around maybe 9 or 10 a.m. My time, DST. There's a nice release date for you as well. I'm going to be streaming really early. It is coming to Xbox One. With Dawn Trail. Hopefully my internet will be right. If not, then I'm not going to be able to stream. But I will be playing it. But hopefully I can stream it, and we'll be streaming pretty much for 3 days, solid, until we finish the campaign. So if you're interested in that and want to sit down and check out the campaign, by all means, feel free to stop by. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night, people. Remain legend. See, anime? I knew it. I knew I would find a game that you wanted. And it's on Xbox. There you go. How many people are actually... There's loads of chat interested in that game. Crazy. Peace out, folks. Have a good one.